into this Utah hockey game, which is about to start the second period. And then we are going to go right in from that to the Canuck game against the Wild.
Back series, the Bear. Still in town shooting. Enjoy the Hawks game.
And we are winning 1-0. Beautiful. It is a 1-0 lead for the good guys. Up 1 against Chicago. And we'll have other games as well. Chicago swings one through. A wrist shot that goes wide. There's Connor Bedard behind the net. First to slingshot one through. We have an update for you guys. Scoring update, a final. Winnipeg wins 6-1 over the Devils. That's not great for the Devils at all. And in the third period, it is Washington up 5-2 against the Red Wings.
Paul Hemming is on my side. That's all I need. I doubt that. As Marino will play it around, and Sergachev's got it. Good tack team.
No, they did not score. Utah, we lead 7-6 in shots. Mikhail slings one back. Logan tried to bank it through. Utah's basically did nothing at the deadline. Alec Martinez just got a puck to the face, and he's going to have to go to the far boards.
Send it cross corner, looking for some speed to put the puck to an area right side of your screen there, and just put that puck right up the yap of Alec Martinez. So
there is a roar right now. I don't know what the roar is about.
Oh man, actually right up the chin. It looked like, so hopefully a long-time NHL veteran is okay. But I really did like that decision.
We'll put up the other scores that we usually put up.
Try to beat guys one-on-one. Sometimes you just got to get to the line, send that puck cross court because you had some speed going on the far side. So it's just decision-making and maturing from Logan Cooley continues to impress in a huge way. There's a chance.
Chance out in front and a save made. Rebound. Puck came across. We have some updates to talk about college hockey, by the way. A point shot through. It is stopped. Save made. Rebound. Loose puck. Puck is jammed along the side, and it's held. Gunther was that close to making it 2-0, but he was unable to do so. So, by the way, third period is over. New Hampshire has upset 17th ranked
People might think that in the neutral zone they're not important.
UMass Lowell. End of the second period, 14th ranked Minnesota State beat Superior State unranked 2-1. 7:33 to go in the third. 18th ranked North Dakota up 2-1 against Omaha. 2:01 to go in the first. 7th ranked Denver playing Colorado College, 20th ranked. Denver only leads 1-0.
He never sees Dylan Gunther cruising to that.
Notre Dame, unranked Notre Dame, up 3-1 against the third ranked team in the country. That's Minnesota. Early in the third, 5-1 UMass upset Maine. And then Penn State, another upset in overtime. 15th ranked Penn State beats 11th ranked Michigan 6-5. And unranked Wisconsin stuns Ohio State 4-1. But fourth ranked Western Michigan all over Miami, Ohio.
19-9-3, and he's been excellent here in the front half of this hockey game as we get another whistle.
We have another nice and call late in the third. It looks like Washington's going to beat the Red Wings. It's unfortunate, but
and he came over in a deal with Florida on the 1st of March. You mentioned his mask, still his Florida Panthers mask. How about the opportunity he had? I mean, I know
we do have one NBA game on today. Oh, okay. So Phoenix plays Denver as well later. Memphis and Dallas. Up to the far circle. Vamielka makes the stop early in this second period. Steers it to the corner.
Be the main man in between the pipes for Chicago for a while to come. Harvard Silverblue is backing up tonight for the Chicago Blackhawks. Peter Mrazek.
Pushed it down, by the way. With 5 seconds left, Cleveland only leads by 2 against Charlotte. So monitoring that. And then, of course, that Memphis Dallas game. That one is very close. No finals yet. Puck will be punched all the way down for Chicago to move it.
Certainly wish you well to both of those guys. You're going to need everybody, especially in the stretch run.
Forked it on down. Also, men's basketball, I believe, the regular season's still going, so we'll stay top. Oh yeah, we got to mention that. We'll stay top 25 with that for the non-tournament games. And of course, the tournament games. There are a couple of men's games with the tournament games. But also, we'll mention what goes on with the tournament.
And now a quick word from America First Credit
with the other tournament games.
I'm Lynn Cooley, and I'm Clayton Keller. Utah's our new team, and America First is our new credit union. The official credit
and then all the women's games are in tournaments.
Maddie, you mentioned Nick Bukestad and Robert Fortuso, and I mean, you see a bunch of guys on that bench there, but it really does take everybody, whether you're in the lineup or not, to bring positive energy, to compete against your teammates in practice. And if injuries happen, you got guys that can come in and are more than capable of helping out. So hopefully those guys can get healthy, because they have played real impactful roles on this team. When Robert Fortuso has played, he's been outstanding. Nick Bukestad, everything that he brings. Takes everybody on a hockey team.
Puck positioned itself off. It comes to the corner. We'll have your chance to read some of the most of the scores with the women's basketball teams. So there's not going to be a lot of women's basketball to do. Mainly stick to the men's and the NBA games, by the way. We're not talking about the NHL. But back to the NHL here. Here comes Utah skating it in. Forced one down. It's deflected.
Back to center. Dale Sergata behind the net.
And backhanded off.
Boy, they've been good pairing. Steady, solid, trustworthy. Doan's got it. Doan.
Forced on down. A shot towards the net. And it's wide.
Back in front. McBain with a look.
Clanks itself. Puck is rolling. A one-timer. Blocked aside. Let the club keep it moving. Chicago tries to clear the zone. Domesco, but a turnover. And we'll bring it in. McBain fed one to the boards. Delay, spins. Turnstile. Keller. Clayton back to McHale. McHale left hash. Drops it out behind. There's John McBain. A drop pass, and it missed everybody. It goes all the way down. 14 minutes to go in the second period. We lead 1-0.
14 and a half to go in the second period. The
lone goal scored for Utah by Nick Schmaltz. He's 14th of the year. Here's the aforementioned Nick Schmaltz, who delays it out into the corner. Logan Cooley gets hit.
In Detroit, Cooley.
They'll free that puck up through. There's a shot, and it's stopped aside. To the far wall, Spencer Knight kicked it aside. He was acquired from the Florida Panthers and immediately starts this game. And it'll be icing. So 13:58 to go in the third. It will be an offensive zone draw.
Makes a slip play off the wall, and then Gunther and Hayton go roaring back
for the club.
A smart
they just ice it.
From Gunther. And speaking of smart, Cooley to Nick Schmaltz in a familiar area.
So great play coming on through, and
in the first period, he knows the way to find that soft ice in the middle.
Right now, we'll do the updates real quickly. High Point over Gardner-Webb in the Big South quarterfinal. Hey, what's up, Trent? 13:52 to go in the second. Okay, let's go to a game while we're waiting. I don't know how much you follow. Real quick about basketball, Trent. I don't know how much you follow college basketball, but a couple of the smaller leagues are in tournaments for women's basketball. For men's basketball, and a lot of the women's basketball teams are already in tournaments. Regular season's over for the women, so we'll be doing a lot of that if we can. Also, Division III national tournament already started, and my alma mater, Montclair State, with the men and the women, wins in the first round. In fact, Montclair upset in the women's the number 9th team in the entire country. But yes, Philadelphia is not really in a tank mode. they're kind of in a reloading because they didn't trade all the players they could have. Bruins absolutely are, and I think it's for the better. Bruins have traded everybody on their team that was involved with the rebuild from 2017 with the Cups, except for McAvoy and Pasternak. I think McAvoy will not be on the move next year, and he's also hurt. But I think Pasternak will be, along with Middlestat, a guy they just got. What division is Montclair? So it's in a conference called the NJAC. I don't know but it's in. I don't know what group they're in, but they played tremendous. By the way, okay, so they're not.
Well, you're in the big leagues now. How was your vacation set? Well, I needed one. With your 10%
out. Let's see something real quick. All right, we're back.
40 or more shots in recent years for this franchise and Utah Hockey Club.
I'm just trying to see something. We were talking about the men's. We were mentioning the men's real quick. The men's have some tournaments. We wanted to rattle them off real quick. High Point beat Gardner Webb in the Big South quarterfinal. Drake beat Southern Illinois in the Big South in the Missouri Valley quarterfinal. Delaware over Stony Brook in the Coastal Atlantic first round. Radford in overtime over Presbyterian in the Big South quarterfinal. Belmont over Illinois State in the Missouri Valley quarterfinal. Hofstra over North Carolina A&T in the Central Atlantic first round as the club bank it on in. Mercer over Western Carolina in the Southern first round. Marshall in the fourth round of the Sun Belt over Georgia State. UNC Asheville as its icing against Chicago over Charleston Southern in the Big South quarterfinal. South Dakota over North Dakota State in the Summit quarterfinal. Bradley over Murray State in the Missouri Valley quarterfinal. Real quick, I'll get to that. I got to go through all these. And VMI, I don't know what school that is, over the Citadel in the Southern first round. And those are the finals. Early in the first half, Appalachian State and Sunbelt fourth round of an early lead. You may remember Thomas Tarter from Discord. He goes to that school. He might actually be broadcasting that game. I'm not sure for their radio against Old Dominion. Winthrop beating Longwood early in the second half, 48-29 in the Big South quarterfinal. Pepperdine losing to Portland late in the first half in the second round of the West Coast. And also, there are 4 games coming up later, tournament games, and there are 2 ranked teams playing. Memphis losing to South Florida late in the first half, and late in the second half, unranked Illinois beating Purdue by 1, 67-66. Yeah, he might be broadcasting that for their radio. I'm not sure. Thoughts on the Rantanen trade? I thought it was a good trade for Dallas in the sense that they got a guy that they can use. They gave up a lot, but I think if they get a cup out of it, I don't think it's a bad trade. An 8-year deal I thought was a little preposterous, but hey, that's what they decided to do. NBA real quickly. Cleveland was able to outlast Charlotte 6:13 to go in the fourth quarter. 107-106. Dallas is beating Memphis. 3:24 left in the fourth. It's 114-102. Toronto, they always seem to win when we have a game. We stream 86-83. Miami beating Minnesota early in the fourth quarter. And Oklahoma City beating Portland early in the fourth quarter, although only by 7. San Antonio plays Sacramento later. So does Phoenix and Denver. And my Knicks go to L.A. to play the Clippers. Mikhail back out left hash. Tip towards the net, wide of the net. By the way, was not your team, but one of the teams you like is Gunther had a shot that was blocked. Penn State beat Michigan in overtime in hockey. We were monitoring the hockey games. This was forced on down and, again, swept aside. Chipped off the far wall. We'll get to women's basketball in a second when we can. This is deflected through. 12 minutes to go in the second. We will go to the Canucks and the Wild. We'll finish all the other 10 o'clock games. Maybe we'll also do the Phoenix-Denver basketball game as well. Not sure. Gunther chipped wide. So, yeah, Trent, we're going to go do all those games. The Canuck game. Not sure about the NBA game, but we'll definitely do the Canucks game and the rest of the NHL games. Can you stay for that, Trent? I'd love for you to stay for that since I just started like 14 minutes ago. But what a chance for the club. They almost get it done and just Can't bang the puck in, but that close. Okay, so we have access to Omaha, North Dakota. All right, awesome. Love that. Omaha, North Dakota. North. I can't. It became. Did you hear that, Trent? I just was born in Boston. You hear that? I just said Omaha in North Dakota. North Dakota. No. Fed one off the far wall. Chicago tries to bank it down at the fair line. Chip it to the side. You can smell playoffs in the air. The Frozen Four is almost here, and the tournament in hockey in only a couple weeks. Almost all of the high schools, except for New York and a couple of states that have already won their state championships, are going to play state championships either this weekend or the weekend after. The NHL playoffs don't start for about a month and a half, but you could sense it in the air that the hockey games are getting really critical here. A shot off the boards. It's highly unlikely Chicago makes it into the playoffs, but Utah very close to getting in one, although they're going to need help from the Wild. As you see, the Canucks, with a win, can clinch a playoff spot. Can get into a playoff spot. Although an Anaheim win will be good. Chicago just hit the crossbar. Connor Bedard thought he scored. The whole stadium thought they scored. Toe drag, now they score. Kaiser. Tie game. Well, Connor Bedard hits the crossbar. He comes back with the puck. And then finds Kaiser, who slams it in, and Chicago has tied the game. A rolling puck. Jersey goes down. Sean can't go and tie him up immediately. Bedard just finds Kaiser. And I'm not sure which one of our guys, I see number 2, went down. And Sean tried to shield Vomilka. He was unable to. And Kaiser has tied this game with 10:37 to go in the second. An illegal face-off. And they will now drop the puck officially. 17-11 shots favor us, but we're tied. 10:37 to go in the second. We will now get into the women's scores, if we can. All were tournaments. As you said, the regular season is over. Richmond over Duquesne in the quarterfinal of the Atlantic 10. UNC Greensboro goes to the Southern Final. St. John's over Butler in the Big East first round. North Carolina outlasts Florida State in the ACC quarterfinal. They'll go to the semis. USC over Indiana, but very close in the Big Ten quarters. West Virginia beats Kansas State in the Big 12 quarterfinal. Here comes Logan Cooley. Logan drops it off, and a backhander misses the net. Kaiser, it's his third goal of the year for Chicago, by the way. West Virginia over Kansas State, as we said. South Carolina beats the very young and good Vanderbilt Commodores, 84-63. They'll move on to the semifinals, and they'll play either Florida or LSU, who are playing right now. Georgia State beat Old Dominion in the fourth round of the Sun Belt. I think that's the championship. And this hit the post. Chicago that close. Ryan Donato, who was not traded at the deadline, crashing towards the goal. North Dakota advances to the semifinal. North, not North. Actually, no, we should just call it North from now on. North Dakota beats St. Thomas in Minnesota. Goes to the semifinal. Chattanooga over Furman, 63-55. Georgetown over Providence. That's in the Southern. They go to the final. Georgetown beats Providence. They go to the Big East second round. NC State over Georgia Tech, 73-72. By the skin of their teeth onto the semifinals. St. Joseph's in overtime go to the semifinals in the Atlantic 10 over Rhode Island. Tennessee Tech goes to the final of the Ohio Valley, beating Southern Indiana. Oklahoma over Kentucky goes to the semifinals in the SEC. TCU, I think they are going to play. Not sure, actually. TCU beats Colorado, goes to the Big 12 semifinal. Michigan beats Maryland in the Big 10 semifinal. I don't really care about the women's Michigan team. Loyola Marymount goes to the semis. In the West Coast, over Santa Clara, Marshall beats Appalachian State 75-66. In the Sun Belt, I think, final. Kansas City goes to the semifinals over North Dakota State. Xavier beats DePaul in the Big East first round. Lindenwood beats Western Illinois in the semifinal of the Ohio Valley. I know this is a lot. George Mason over St. Louis over St. Louis goes to semifinals in the Atlantic 10. Notre Dame goes to semifinals in the ACC, beating California. Notre Dame's a tremendous team. Pacific beats San Diego in the second round. Texas beats Ole Miss. That's what Texas is going to play. Who did we mention? Was it Kentucky? Oklahoma. So Oklahoma will play Texas in the Red River rivalry battle in women's basketball. Austin Peay over West Georgia in the first round of the Atlantic Sun. Baylor over Iowa State. They go to the semifinals in the Big 12. UCLA to the semifinals over Nebraska. Bellarmine upsets Jacksonville 80-79 in overtime, goes to the second round of the Atlantic Sun. Davidson over Dayton goes to the semifinals in the Atlantic 10. Chicago wins the draw. Puck strewn through off the boards. Louisville beats Duke. They go to the semifinals, and then we have three other games going on right now. At the half, 28-24, Texas Tech beating Oklahoma State. Iowa trailing 31-38, 27 left in the third against Ohio State. And 8:49 to go in the third. Winner gets South Carolina. Florida losing big to LSU. All right. Forced off. And this puck thrown out behind. Club tried to swing one in. Puck drop very soon also between St. Louis and Anaheim. Also, Washington beat Detroit 6-2. Save made. Rebound. It's deflected away, and Chicago nearly scored. They keep the puck in. Chance from the boards. Deflected wide. 8:30 to go in the second. It's 1-1. Alex Kerfoot will bank it in. Chicago's going to move it. They've started to get the edge here. And the mojo, the way they want to play hockey. Forced off the far side. Chipped again, we'll move it in. 8 minutes to go in the second. 1-1 our score. Chicago has dominated this period, even though we scored early in the period to take a 1-0 lead, and then Kaiser scored for Chicago to tie it. There's Nick Schmaltz. He has the goal for the club. Knight back to play it. Swung on back, and Chicago will move in waves. By the way, it is final. North Dakota has outlasted Omaha, and they win it 3-1 in college hockey. Punched aside, and there's a shot at a save by Vermielka. He holds. By the way, some score updates also with college hockey. 1:32 to go in the third. Unranked Notre Dame stunning Minnesota. Right now, they're at Minnesota. They're winning 3-2 with 1:32 to go. And Denver at the end of one, up 1-0 against Colorado College. 10:53 to go in the third. 14th ranked Minnesota State has a 2-goal cushion. They're up 3-1 against Lake Superior State. So that's that. They're about to start the second actually in Denver.
Massive save, Sarah. Barrett Hayton earlier this morning about what it means to play in front of a guy like Vermielka. He said there's a lot of pride, especially when a guy like that saves your butt on a regular basis. They have a lot of pride playing in front of Vermielka. Hey, Sarah, his numbers are off the charts. Last 6 games, he's 5-1.
7:28 to go in the second. It is a 1-1 tie.
Goals allowed are less than 9 of his last 10.
Is this brought off the far wall again? And tipped through at the backhand. Twisting and turning. Oh, turnover. Left circle. Backhander score. 2-1 Chicago. Ilya Mikheyev. And Chicago leads for the first time in this period. You feel like you can't clot the blood. You feel like it's a Komodo dragon bite where you got poison seeping through, because right now It is a roller coaster in Chicago. They have had control since Bedard hit the crossbar. They have come in waves, and it has been mounting. And now they have a lead. Yes, it was Mrazek. We mentioned it on the stream. It was Mrazek and Craig Smith for, can't think of his name, Joey Veleno, who is not playing in this game, but will likely. We have a fight. We have a fight at center ice. It's Pat Maroon against O'Brien, I think. Yeah, O'Brien's we're trying to get back in this thing. Pat's got a heavy right. O'Brien comes in with a left. Pat's holding him. There's a right. Maroon's holding him, a right to the leg, a right to the arm, can't get it to the face. O'Brien's doing a good job. The referees are not stepping in. They are now going to step in and separate. Winner by decision, O'Brien. That gets the fans going. And these guys won't get back on the ice till very late in the second period. And one of their big power forwards, Patrick Maroon, is gone for 5 minutes. And this is smart by O'Brien because O'Brien's an enforcer. He's going to get his team into it. We needed to stop the bleeding, and that might do it. But Utah does trail 2-1. This building is roaring, but Chicago had all the momentum. This might slow it down, which is what you need.
Turn the momentum, gets him on the side of the road team. 24th fight this season for Utah. They've had 2 tonight. O'Brien leads the team.
By the way, I know we're doing a Canuck game, but how we're going to do it is during the second intermission, we are going to still work on the basketball games and all that in intermission. But after this game is over, we'll go full to the Canucks. That game will start very soon. Keller towards the net. It's deflected. It's kicked aside. And here comes Chicago. Foligno tipped one off the far side. Deflected it on the wall. And it crossed up. It is banked in. Chicago tags up Bertuzzi. Sends a man, comes off the red line. Drop pass Bertuzzi, right hash. Bertuzzi hit off the puck. Bertuzzi goes down. Good physical check. Rolling puck comes off the blue line. At the red line. We'll sweep in. There's Dylan Gunther. Dylan towards the net. Missed the goal. 6 minutes to go in the second. Forced one on down. Memphis has beaten Dallas, by the way.
6 minutes remaining in the second period.
Toronto has also beaten Utah. Forced one towards the net. Turnover. Save made. Save made by Knight. Rebound, pucks loose. He holds. 5:40 to go in the second. Spencer Knight somehow saw the puck before we were able to get sticks by him. Well, we are getting pucks and bodies. Maybe the fight by O'Brien started it, but they lead 2-1. 5:40 to go in the second. Go to break.
Players get 350 bonus spins and up to $1,000 back in casino bonus. So
all right, let's see what we can go to during commercial. All right, LSU and Florida. It is a rout. Well, actually, not as much of a rout. Gators have come back a little bit. They trail 61-48, and a wayward pass. It goes off a Gator, and it's Louisiana State basketball. Winner will join Texas, Oklahoma, and South Carolina in the women's SEC semifinals. And Florida, who's even 500, staying with LSU a little bit. Foul on Florida. So it'll be free throws coming up.
Okay, ready? One more. 1, 2, and 3. Not so fast.
By the way, we have a final. Unranked Notre Dame stuns the Gophers faithful. They knock off the third-ranked team in the country, Minnesota, and that is good. That's Felicity Johnson, who is third highest points per game in a season in LSU history. First, of course, is the Chicago Sky's superstar, Angel Reese. Gators with the basketball in the low elbow. Trailing. 15, we're back in Sunrise. That's where he used to play. Back in Chicago, but we'll wait for a second. 4:40 to go in the third quarter. A tough fadeaway, and she's fouled. Throwing it up. But the face-off won by the club. Backhand feed. Oh, it's turned over. And a break the other way for Chicago. Turns in on goal. Penalty coming up. It's on us. Deflected. We'll touch it. Is it a penalty shot? Penalty shot for Chicago. Trent, I don't know if you're still here. Chicago has been awarded a penalty shot. The first penalty shot in regulation this year. There have been only one other penalty shot awarded in the NHL, and it was in overtime when the Canucks scored in overtime in a shoot against San Jose. And Chicago will have a chance to go up 3-1 on a penalty shot. And it's Nazar who will have the chance to do it. Vimielka's got to make a play. Steps up at the red line. Nazar slinks in on the penalty shot. Fakes, backhander. 3-1 Chicago. Nazar on a penalty shot. And they have taken a 2-goal lead. Maybe you call a timeout here because nothing is going the way. We won the draw, a turnover, and then Nazar skyrocketed towards the net. He drew a penalty shot and now scores on the backhand right under the glove of Vimielka. And it is 3-1 Chicago late in period number 2. And it has been a monsoon for the Blackhawks, 3 unanswered since Bedard hit the crossbar.
Back to center ice in. Cole sends one in.
Forced one on down. Puck comes down to the far circle. Gunther a drive, and it's blocked. Forced off on a rolling puck. Slips one. Kesselrink a shot, and it's stopped aside. Deflects back out. Bedard is going to lampoon this puck out to center. Nazar skies into the left hash. Nazar frees one up Bedard, and it's stopped aside. Bedard back out to the point, and it's Murphy. Murphy a drive. Fed one on the backhand. Bedard again. Sent one in front, and then Chicago just missed the net. Coming off the goal line. Chicago will clank it on in. Chicago leads 3-1. Thanks to a penalty shot from Nazar. Lawson Krause was hit. Comes back out at the corner. Flung aside at the glass.
More battle here. If my math is correct, that's 3 goals making the span of 5:07 for the Chicago Blackhawks. And a game where Utah had a lot of control in.
Chipped in on the backhand. Flanking on down, drops it off, shot blocked. Stunted at the left hash mark. Club will move it in.
More battle here with 3.5 to go. Hawks will get it out.
And Chicago slingshots it in. Comes right back out to the left circle. 3:20 to go in the second. Schmaltz skates in. He gets it from Keller. Clayton. There's Nick. Nick on the boards. Drops it off to Logan Cooley. Backhand feed. chomped off the bit and at the far boards.
Tempo here for Utah. John Marino in the middle.
Out behind, they skate with speed.
Cooley goes down the board. Keller will
Fortunate on down off the corner. Schmaltz delays.
takes it away, and this one down the length of the ice, and we'll get an icing call against Chicago.
Tipped along, and it is icing against Chicago, so we'll have the puck in the offensive zone. 45 seconds left in the fourth quarter in Miami. It is 104-99 Timberwolves. They lead by a very small margin against the Heat. 150 to go in the fourth. It is Portland. They're kind of, it's 105-89. Looks a little too late for Portland, for the Trailblazers. And they've, first quarter, it is 4-3 very early. San Antonio leading Sacramento. For whatever reason, they still have not tipped the ball off in Ball Arena between the Nuggets and Phoenix. Oh, they just did. They just tipped off. And it is icing against the club. So it's icing on us. 2:24 to go in the second. See if we got any finals in men's basketball today. Illinois has upset the 18th ranked team in the country, Purdue. They beat Purdue, and Southeast Missouri State has beaten Little Rock. They are going to the Ohio Valley Final. And they will play the winner of Tennessee State and SIU Edwardsville. That game starts in about 15 minutes. And the shot, that one tipped off the far side. So that also means that the winner of that game between Southeast Missouri State or SIU Edwardsville and Tennessee State will be going to March Madness.
Game 6 of the opening round back in 2012.
Also at the half, 16th ranked Memphis is tied with unranked South Florida. Save made by Knight. A chance to clip it in, though. No other finals so far. Most games in the second half, though, for men's. Murphy a drive, and it glances off the glass. By the way, we are underway in the other hockey games. 1-0 St. Louis at the Honda Center. It's scoreless in T-Mobile and scoreless in Vancouver. The Canucks hosting the Wild. You'll get a lot of that later. That game later. A minute to go in the second period. Club bank it off the far end. Chip out to center. Marino. And Kerfoot will fling it in. Under 50 seconds to go in the second. We trail by 2. It's 3-1 Chicago. There's a battle for the puck. It's forged away from the corner.
Nothing's going to happen. It doesn't get any better than that.
Slashed off the dasher. 25 seconds to go in the second period. Here it is 3-1 Chicago. Chicago got another goal on a penalty shot. Nazar. 20 seconds to go in the second period. We're going to go to the Ohio State women's basketball game if you want to watch along. And this game is, the period's done. Donato drug it through and almost had a chance on goal. 8 seconds left. We got to get out of this period. Just get the puck out of the zone. Club can't get it out. Finally, we're going to hold it on Josh Doan, and this ends a period that started beautifully, and it has ended in a bad way. Chicago goes on a rampage. They're up 3-1, 3 unanswered. A ton of great goals by their guys. Nazar's made it 3-1, and the penalty shot will go to the third, down by 2. 3-1 Chicago. 2 periods in the books. All right. Let's go to aforementioned Ohio State, Iowa. They're on break. All right, how about LSU, Florida? We got that. Okay. Wow, this game is taking forever. 2:30 to go in the third quarter, and LSU, it's an and one. 69-54, Tigers starting to stretch their lead. Against the Gators, it's a good inside zone play. And she goes up, tries to finish strong, and does.
Borgata Casino Online. Sign up and get a 100% deposit match up to $1,000.
The and one chance for Del Rosario is no good, and it's rebounded by the Gators. They trail by 15. Comes back out to the corner. She'll drive in. Waits out from the low perimeter. Pick and roll for Florida. Fakes about the three-point line. Thinks about it. Drives, twists, turns, pivots. Tough fadeaway. Good! Great shot. And Florida will not go away. Alexia Gassett, but a wide open lane, and it's put in for LSU. They respond. Quick, high-octane pace for Florida. Thinks about a three-pointer, but from the wing, but threw it into the middle of the court and draws a holding foul on the Tigers. So we're doing this now, but we'll do so. Trent, if you're wondering, if you're here, we're gonna do the Canucks and all that. We might also finish the Suns game too, but we are not going to. But we're not broadcasting the Canucks now because we're gonna do that when this Club Chicago game goes final. Rashaya Kyle hits the first. She'll have a second coming up. 1:54 to go on the third. Also, we'll finish all the Power 5 women's. There are two men's games that are going on. We're not going to finish them just because they're not Power 5. I'm not trying to bother, but just the way I'm going to do things here. Second is good.
Tests positive for PD-L1 and does not have an abnormal EGFR or ALK gene. Opdivo plus Yervoy helps your immune system fight cancer in two ways. Opdivo and Yervoy can cause your immune system to harm healthy parts of your body during and after treatment. These problems can be severe and lead to death. See your doctor right away if you have a cough, chest pain, shortness of breath, irregular heartbeat, diarrhea, constipation, severe stomach pain, severe nausea or vomiting, dizziness.
Right off the corner, bounce pass into the middle, drives. No good, but she will get the foul. Another shooting foul on Florida.
Severe persistent muscular joint pain. Tell your doctor if you have myasthenia gravis or over the Utah Hockey Club. But March is Women's History Month, and Sarah Merrifield is here to tell us a little more about Hillary Knight and looking up to some of her female role models in the sport.
Yeah, well, it's good timing for Women's History Month because the International Ice Hockey Federation Women's World Championship roster was announced just 2 days ago, and names like Hillary Knight and Taylor Heisey are included in
free throw coming good.
To have Hillary Knight in town in Salt Lake City earlier in the season, and we asked a couple of questions, not just about women in hockey, but also about
right wing, top of the key, fakes the pick and roll. Here comes Florida.
Take a listen.
Looking for more. Well, looking for something. At the top of the key, crosses over, fakes the fadeaway. Approaching the final minute of play in the third quarter. A tough fall-away jumper is no good, and it's rebounded by the Tigers. LSU bring in waves. At the right wing. She'll drive in and hook a long three-pointer. It is no good. It is up in the air, and it's rebounded by the Gators. Florida is pushing the ball. Back out to the right corner. Right wing three. Good! And that was a big shot for Florida. Jariah Warren with a great shot. And they are within 12, but here come the Tigers. We have a foul. It's on the floor. I think it's a blocking foul against the Gators.
It is truly special to see the sport of
and a great shot by Warren.
Wonderful, amazing, and talented women like Hillary Knight in that roster. And, of course, as I mentioned, the Women's World Championship will be taking place April 9th through 20th in Czechia. So be sure to tune in and take a look at some of those legends on the ice for Women's World Championship. Kim?
Well, thank you, Sarah. It's so fun to see that. I mean, we've been talking about the sport of women's hockey. It feels like all season long, but really cool to be able to hear a little bit more from Hillary Knight and just get an insight.
Free throw is good.
No doubt about it. We also heard this week that attendance is up
this season for the PWHL. So great news there. The sport continues to grow, and hopefully more heroes for these young girls getting into the game.
Absolutely. We'll learn to play programs right here in Utah.
Driving towards the basket, and it is no good, but Florida's getting free throws here. Again, they will not go away. They keep pushing this very good LSU team. Let's give you some hockey score updates. Minnesota State.
I've tried sports bras, underwire bras, minimizer bras.
Did win.
And then out of nowhere,
4-1 over unranked Lake Superior State.
breast cancer. And losing the breasts, I never fully appreciated.
And there's only one game left for the top-ranked teams. And 7:39 to go in the second. Still only 1-0 Denver. We'll monitor that against Colorado College. Inbounds pass for LSU. 30 seconds to go in the third quarter. By the way, it is late in the third quarter. It's a Texas Tech game. Driving towards the basket and good! And one! And a shooting foul against Florida. Gilbert will get a chance for a three-point play for LSU.
Chest pain or dizziness. Before taking Biscali, tell your doctor all your medical conditions, medicines you take, and if you're breastfeeding, you're planning to be.
By the way, Minnesota has came back and beat Miami in South Beach. Oklahoma City did win. 4-1 to go in the first. It's 18-12 San Antonio. 5:50 to go in the first. 21-15 Denver beating the Suns. Obviously, Knicks Clippers is later on tonight. 4 fouls for Warren. She's hit some big shots, but another foul, she's out. 10 seconds left in the third quarter. Gators holding for the last shot. They trail 78-62. Pass right into the middle of the post, but it's a turnover, and now LSU can have the last shot if they'd like. But the Gators look like they want to trap here. Substitutions coming for LSU. They don't want Tiger to get open for the final shot. There's the baseball home run ball. Tips it up to the three-point line. Up, no good. Rebound at the horn. Doesn't get to the rim, and that's the end of the third quarter. It is all LSU, 78-62, trying to advance to the next round. I was actually correct. It wouldn't be South Carolina they would play.
This game would be very different complexion. We saw that, though.
I think it would have been I think it would be Oklahoma that they would play.
All right, let's take a look at all of the highlights from the second period. Starting
Okay, so let's go to
keeping Chicago in the game.
15 shots in the second.
let's go to Texas Tech, Oklahoma State. It's late in the third quarter there. They're on a break. Are they done? Maybe? Oh, by the way, 10:19 to go in the first. Scoreless Canucks and Wild. 8:44 to go in the first. Scoreless still. Penguins in Vegas and 1-0 St. Louis.
Was finally going to break through and then get the momentum for themselves.
Well, a lot of young players with a lot of skill. That's exactly what we're seeing. That's exactly what Nick Schmaltz talked about.
We have no finals yet.
You could sense that the Blackhawks were still really in this game. Utah needed to keep playing with that lead.
A lot of young players that have a lot to play for, and you know what? They just don't know better than to just keep trying here. They're not in the playoffs. No, not even close. But they've got a lot of young players that want to prove themselves. This was Liam O'Brien.
South Dakota State's beating North Dakota at halftime. Second half, still Portland with a lead in the West Coast second round. So is Memphis. Is winning right now, though not by much.
And they're just a great move, freezing Karel Vemelka, and that's where that 3-1 lead stands.
First ever penalty shot goal.
44-36.
On that one, so Chicago up 3-1 over the Utah Hockey Club. Momentum definitely shifted in that second period to the home team. So what does Utah need to look at heading into the third?
I mean, they've had a lot of danger scoring.
They're at the end of the third quarter. Okay. 40-39, Texas Tech leads. Okay, we can go to the Ohio State game. That seems to be the team with the least amount of time left. They're in the fourth quarter. 53-51 Buckeyes. The number 3 team in the tournament going up against the number 11 team. And a foul coming up. Here's Ohio State will have free throws coming.
The first time you pick up, your laundry feels way fresher, softer. So you start to wonder, will she bounce on the finance guy? Will it make more softer? Bounce can't do it all. But for better laundry,
They're going to go to break. 4:49 to go in the fourth. Still 53-51 Buckeyes. Let's go to Oklahoma State, Texas Tech in a Big 12. 40-39. Raiders lead. Right under the middle, and it's good! And the number 3 team in the tournament have taken the lead. Cowboys lead 41-40. Magassa, and a chance for a 3-point play after the darling Red Raiders looked like they had a chance to upset, but it is still a lot of time in this fourth quarter. 9:51 left in it. 41-40 Cowboys.
Discovery is an aromatase inhibitor. It's for adults with stage 2 and 3, HR positive, HER2 negative, early breast cancer.
Big free throws here. She hits it, and it's 42-40 Oklahoma State. Texas Tech with the ball. They are 4 of 5 from free throws for the charity stripe. Oklahoma State's 11 of 13. They've gotten to it much more, but a foul coming up against the Cowboys, their first of the quarter. It's on Wooten. Or Wooten. Wooten.
I'm doing more today to help protect my tomorrow.
For a blocking foul, because she couldn't get outside of the screen. Passed it in top of the key. Here come the Raiders, the Red Raiders, moving the ball. Tries to find an opening. Good defensive coverage done right now on the pressure zone by Oklahoma State. It is blocked. And here come the Cowboys on the rush. Driving to the left corner. And are they calling a charge here? But what a block from the big that just scored.
using BetterHelp can be as easy as opening your laptop or your phone and clicking a button, and the session begins.
BetterHelp is the
And yeah, they called a charging foul against Oklahoma State, and that is no good. Big gets the rebound. And here comes OK State now, laying it up and in, and it's good. They went back to the big, who's got it done, who had the big block and has scored the last 4 points. Tenin Magassa. Timeout, Texas Tech. 8:43 to go in the fourth. Magassa has taken over a block and 2 strong layups. And Oklahoma State, the heavy favorite, has a 4-point lead and the momentum, trying to move on in the Big 12 tournament. All right, let's go back to Ohio State, Iowa. 4:43 to go in the fourth.
now streaming on
By the way, 4:13 in the second, still 1-0 Denver. Pittsburgh has scored a goal. Vegas has scored a goal against Pittsburgh. It is 1-0 Golden Knights. 14:37 to go in the first. Hawkeyes bringing the ball up. Trailing by 3. Their 11th team, shocking a 3rd team ranked team right now. Driving back the basket to the right corner for 3. No good. Rebound, Buckeyes. 4:20 to go in the fourth. Both teams in the bonus. Possession arrow will be to the Hawkeyes. Top of the key, driving the left corner for 3. Good! And it's a 6-point lead for Ohio State. They'll pressure and have a quasi-trap. It's almost stolen away. That's blocked aside. Who comes away with the basketball? Ohio State tried to grab it and keep it in, but it's thrown away to Iowa. And here come the Hawkeyes thinking about the three-pointer, wide open into the low post. No good. Rebound comes away to the Buckeyes. They'll stretch pass. Here comes the zone. A pressure zone, a pressure man zone, a 1-4. And a foul coming up. And it looks to be against Iowa, though I'm not sure.
Like you, everywhere I turn, every building is a student. Every train car is a class.
7:50 in the second half, by the way. It's 51-46. Appalachian State, 16.5. Winthrop by 9 against Longwood. That's in the Big South and Sun Belt. Memphis also starting to pull away in that ranked battle. Driving towards the basket, trying to lay it up and good. She does for Iowa. And the Hawkeyes will not go away. They're within 4. 3. Closing on 3 minutes left. That was Ava Hayden, who had 10 points. She's been 4 of 5 on field goals. This game, here comes their powerful big McMahon. McMahon draws the foul. Doesn't get it to go, but she'll have 2 free throws coming up.
Through 2 periods are brought to you by Common Spirit Health. Well, odd-man rushers, that was an area of concern there in the second for Utah, as the Hawks were very obviously trying to stretch and spread the neutral zone, an area that Utah's going to want to clean up. They've had the edge in terms of high danger hits. They've had their looks. Got to find a way to.
First shot is good.
Today was trade deadline day around the NHL. 24 trades, 47 players. And Nick, I understand you've got a trade deadline story. Yes, I had to dig deep for this one amidst all the other stories, but taking everybody back to the year 1995. My dad, Eddie, was playing for the New York Rangers at that time, and the trade deadline was 3 p.m. Eastern. Deadline hit, no call, 3:05. The home phone rings in the Old Czech residence, and my mom, lovely talented Diana, answered the phone. And someone on the other line said, "Hi, Diana, this is Neil Smith. Is Eddie there?" Neil Smith being the GM of the Rangers at that time.
Iowa bring it up. And, I think we're ready to go in Chicago. Yes, we are.
30 seconds later, the phone rings again, and my mom answered, but this time she didn't say anything. The voice on the other line said, "Hi, Diana. This is really Neil Smith. I need to talk to Eddie." All my mom did was hand the phone to my dad and walk out of the kitchen. 30 seconds later, my dad was traded to the Winnipeg Jets.
Forced off the red line and backhanded in.
It's a nerve-wracking day for a lot of players around the league, that's for sure. Tom got a great story in the pregame show.
Turns there, Schmaltz over the trade deadline. Schmaltz forced it on back. There's a point shot, a save made. Deflects back out to the corner. Now Bertuzzi slinks it on the far side on a rolling puck. Sends its way all the way back down to Mikhail Sergachev. Send it on through. Thoughts on the Lawton trade? Trent, I thought that the Flyers won that trade, and I don't get the hype on Lawton. I understand he's a power forward. I don't know if he's exactly what the Leafs need. I thought they got a lot better with Carlo than they did with him. But hey, that's a good it's a good acquisition for Toronto, and I think Philadelphia got a lot of good picks. Yes, they did. They beat Michigan in overtime in boys hockey, or men's hockey. So listen.
Back to the bench under his own power. It's a helpless feeling out there when you got no steal in one of your steals.
Draw. Chicago wins it. Bedard slams it off the dasher, and it's icing. Right, they paid too much for him. That's what my thing was. 3-1 Chicago early in the third. Back to college hockey, by the way.
And that's what pops out the skate blade, and you get this Pop another one right back in. These skates these days, Matty, are so technologically advanced. And trying to keep
2:52 left in the second. It's still 1-0 Denver against Colorado College. Forced on through. Early in the second quarter, 26-22 San Antonio against Sacramento. End of the first, 37-28. Wow, 37 points in the first quarter for the Nuggets. They're beating Phoenix, and there should be tip-off very soon in the City of Angels between the Clippers and the Knicks. Backhand feed. Here's Dylan Gunther. Dylan streaks in, tries to shoot it to himself, can't. Banked, he's hit. Off the corner boards. Anaheim has tied it, and the Canucks have taken a 1-0 lead late in the first. We'll have that game later. Mata. Back out for the club. Ole with the puck. Ole tries to backhand it and get it out of the zone, but cannot. By the way, there's 6:38 to go in the fourth quarter between Texas Tech and Oklahoma State. Cowboys by 5. And LSU is going to coast on to beat Oklahoma in the semifinals for the SEC. They're up 93-77 with 5:16 to go in the game against Florida.
Utah will head home immediately after this one.
We're going home after this. And Toronto is coming on Monday, which is a game I won't be able to stream because of high school state championships. But Utah will meet Toronto with their new look team with Scotty Lawton and Brandon Carlo. I was amazed that the Bruins traded 2 top-tier leaders in their own division. The fact that they traded it to the 2 teams that they played last year in the playoffs. Poke checked aside, and it's banked off the corner. Back up Mikhail, a drive blocked aside. Got to get this puck, keep it in. Send it to center. We look a lot better than we did in the late stages of that second period. I'll tell you that. We're still leading in shots 23-18, although trailing in goals 3-1. Still 1-0 Vegas, by the way. I mentioned those NBA scores. Forced in Alex Kerfoot, right circle. He'll slow it down. Kesselrink to the left hash. Fed one, a bouncing puck. Back out of Kesselrink, a drive. Deflects, blocked aside. And here's Chicago. They'll try to bring their offense and shoot in. There's Donato. He'll skate in to try to forecheck. Winthrop's up by 9 now only. 3:20 to go in the second half of that Big South quarterfinal. There's some other games that are late. We'll announce when those go final. Of course. And the other only non-tournament game in the men's that's ranked, Memphis is up 56-48 against South Florida with 12:32 to go in the game and 15:42 to go in this game. And Spencer Knight makes the save on a high shot. We'll still have another offensive zone draw.
I might get Evgeny Malkin.
Positions at the corner. Banked off that Asher.
Cooley's got it.
Cooley.
For me, 66. All the way back. I got a good energy on it, too. I shared that with you today. Cross it goes. Cooley. The shot on. Rebound in front. Jersey. Across. Schmaltz. Rules right to the crease. Knight tracking it all the way. Well, when Utah's at their best, the defensemen are getting involved. And Sean Jersey, the main catalyst of this look for the Utah Hockey Club. Best look here in the third period. Great entry by Nick Schmaltz. A little stutter step to create space.
And a chance there that Knight was able to stop again.
And then you get Nick Schmaltz, who originally started this play, was able to get to that high danger area on the high slot as Jersey found him for the one-timer. Keller at the net trying to find that.
Clayton Keller again was stoned by this strong goaltender.
Then perfect night. They're able to generate those looks.
3-1. Chicago leads. They've scored 3 unanswered. But we'll have an offensive zone draw.
Jack McBain will get kicked out of the circle, so they're going to bring in Josh Doan. Doan, McBain, and Krause across the top. Sergachev and Marino as well defensively. Utah trying to get one. Trying to make it a photo finish here tonight in Chicago. Out high, Marino. Towards the front.
Punched across.
Now Sergachev for Marino.
Tipped it. A drive by Marino. Score! It went in. It might have been deflected in front. But the Club have gotten within a goal. John Marino let it go. Jack McBain went to the net. I don't think he deflected it after he won the draw. But Johnny will get a goal, and it's 3-2 Chicago. What a play. We will not go away. We can work from there. What a shot by John right under the crossbar. That puck had eyes. I did hear about that.
John Marino with a seeing eye sizzler past night, and Utah.
But John Marino has given Utah a goal, and we are trailing by 1 now. But Chicago gets the puck right back. Stop it, Vimilka. Save made. Vimilka's got it. And now Nazar is going after a couple of our guys. I don't know what this is about, but now Chicago seems to have lost their composure. And that's fine. We're leading by 9 shots, and we trail only by 1. 14:40 to go in the third. John Marino with a huge goal.
That's the important part. Is that Gunther did not go out towards the shooter. He came across to get into the lane of Del Mac.
Oh, it's because Marino went into one of the Chicago players driving at the net. Well, I'm sorry. They're not getting a puck. That's fine. Nazar was heated at Gunther, but Dylan made the right play.
It's easy to make it look like you want to block the shot, but you go out. But Del Mastro did a great job of pulling it in towards the middle of the ice until he got the lane, blocked the shot, and helped out his team in a defensive manner. And if you make a s'more, what do you need? I need fire. And a lot of fire there on a Dylan Gunther, right? I was going to go with chocolate. Extra chocolate.
O'Brien on the draw.
Play behind the net.
Kaiser.
So a 1-goal game here. Third period.
Tipped off the boards.
5.5 minutes gone. It's John Marino's first goal in 48. First as a member of the Utah Hockey Club.
Chipped along and it's twisted at that far end. Banked in behind. Chicago looking to move it. They turnstile it in. It's backhanded. Off a body. Gotta get this puck through. Darts at the blue line. Here's Kesselrink. Some good checks at the corner. Maroon backhands it off. Chicago settle it on the boards. Martinez goes down. Chicago gain possession. Settling this on through.
The opening period, it was 1-0 at the end of 1-3 for Chicago in the second. And now John Marino here in the third.
Forced off to the corner.
This one again by Connor Murphy.
Slings by the blue line, and down it goes. Chicago to move it.
Lost an edge. He gets right back up. Second time he's lost an edge here. See if maybe he gets a blade replacement or two. As he goes
Not a rolling puck. And dribbled off the dasher. It banks to the corner. Schmaltz. He gets ridden off the boards. Chicago airmails it in. Here's the man coming in. Slatokoko save made. Rebound loose in front of him. Yelka makes the save and he holds. Woo!
Well, Carell has been terrific all season.
Carell made a great play, cutting off the angle. And we are within 1. 12:55 to go in the third. 3-2 Chicago. Okay, Texas Tech, Oklahoma State. Let's go to that. And it is good by the Cowboys. 3:15 to go. Their lead, 54-47. Raiders have 3 timeouts. Cowboys have 4, I believe. They have kept them for this quarter. Left corner for 3. No good. Rebound. Raiders. Top of the key. 3. Good! Here come the Raiders. Holy Toledo. 54-50. Oklahoma State. Cowboys trying to get off the screen. Driving towards the elbow. And we have a foul. And it looks like it's on Texas Tech. Hurd drove the basket. Are they reviewing this because of the elbow? Oh, yeah, this is a lot of contact from Hurd. But she does draw a foul. First shot. No good. Both teams are in the bonus. Oklahoma State leads 54-50. Staley Hurd, another shot. This will rattle in eventually. Looked like it was going to go out.
And tonight's Verizon reliable performance to the percentage of goals scored in the third period and
but it did not go out.
Players with 20 or more goals this season, counting empty netters, and Dylan
Fade away, a tough one off the rim, no good. Let's see whose ball.
Coming into this game, the last 18 road games, he's got a point in 16 of them, 23 points, 11 goals. This team is needed the most at the high pressure.
Punched in off the corner. We're back in the hockey game. No, I agree. It's not it's not how many picks you have. You got to draft the right guys. This could be a step for them. And it is sent in and it held by Knight. 12:31 to go in the third.
Talked about some great memories I've had here in this building in the United Center, and a guy that was in charge for one of those, John Madden, was a terrific player in the Chicago Blackhawks.
And there's John Madden, assistant coach, and it's funny, they're in Chicago. They're talking Western Conference. Here's what's funny. Now they mention it. They're going on and on talking about Johnny Madden as the assistant coach for the club, talking about, we won a cup with Chicago. He was a tremendous player in Chicago. Well, most of his career is the Devils. What a great shorthanded player he was with the Devils. 2 Stanley Cups, 2000 and 2003. He might have had a chance to win Conn Smythe if the Devil probably would have been won by Brodeur, but he would have had a real good chance to win it if the Devils had won the Stanley Cup in 2001. And then, yes, the 3rd Stanley Cup in 2010 with Chicago in his second to last year in the NHL. I believe, I might be mistaken, I believe John Madden's final game in the NHL was the Alex Burrows Slay the Dragon game. I think it was.
Utah's got 15 comeback wins this season.
Which is kind of funny. Again, getting old. Johnny Madden as an assistant coach. Carlo Koliakovo.
In the National Hockey League since that date. So and you see white ice between the puck and the attacker. That's what the
offside is the call. It's on Chicago, a clear and blatant offside. We'll go to the neutral zone. 12:01 to go in the third. 3-2 Chicago. First periods are all over in the 10 o'clock games. And we'll go to BC right after this game is over.
This one played in by Del Mastro. Set it in behind that.
Puck forced in as it's Banked along. I think the game is over. I think LSU has just beaten Florida, by the way. Yes, 101-85. LSU advances. They'll play Oklahoma in the semifinals in the SEC. So that is final now. Club Dylan Gunther, right, left circle. The hash mark. Point shot. Clears off the boards. Also, Ohio State by 1. 60-59 in a nail biter over Iowa.
11:05 remaining in the regulation. 3-2 Chicago.
Chicago will punch in. Club move it. Sean Dursey from the boards. Sean, it would have been offside. Bank it back out off the red line. Cleared it out in. Schmaltz. Second period's over. They're an intermission between Colorado State and Denver. It is 1-0 Denver still in that college hockey game.
Decision making is probably a question for McKay, but you can't deny the raw power he has.
Forced off and tipped it the far side. But will counteract as Chicago turns it over. Clayton drips in. Fed one left hash. Don't have a chance to shoot it. Here's a drive, and it's stopped by Knight with the blocker. He just stops so many quality shots. So if you get able quality shots on him, he's usually going to stop them. This puck is going to go all the way down to Vimielka.
Turned it over. It's going to be a 3-on-1 for Chicago. Petrucci stepped up, active stick, and that's what led to the chance.
He'll bank that again off that.
Been some tough moments in this game, but
far side.
Just a phenomenal read and battle there to keep that puck away from Landon Slager.
Deflected off the far wall again. Club moving in at the red line.
Martinez takes it away.
Chicago bank it in. Forced on down, and they'll shoot it in their own zone. Here's a break. Here's Doan. Josh a shot from the angle. It is held by Knight. Go to break. 9:16 to go in the third. Still 3-2 Chicago. We're coming in waves. We'll have an offensive zone faceoff. But that will be something interesting to watch. Let's go back. Oklahoma State and the who's the other team? The Texas Tech. The final women's game today. They're looking at something along possession, seeing whose hand it went off of. This game has been real close, but we saw a close win by the top seed. They're reviewing to see whose hand it went off of. 1:12 to go in the fourth quarter. 56-52, Oklahoma State leads against Texas Tech.
Thursdays on Fox and watch anytime on Hulu. Jen loved her game flames. Then Brad showed up with game rinse and beads. So they mixed their scents. They discovered they were set mates. Smells like it's gonna last. Makes match more happy with game.
They will look and see what that is about. 1-0 Vegas won one in the other first as well, by the way, of the hockey games. 3:13 to go in the first half. Spurs are trailing 45-37 Sacramento, and 1:53 to go in the opening frame. Knicks leading the Clippers 23-22. A very pivotal game after they fell to the other Los Angeles team last night at Staples or Crypto.com arena. Let's see if there's any men's games that have gone final yet for basketball.
Sarah Merrifield, take us through the next few games.
Still nothing. 57-56, 1:05 to go in the second half. Old Dominion leading against Appalachian State. Yes, they were. Also, Winthrop has beaten Longwood. They are going to the Big South semifinal. They have knocked off Longwood.
By the way, Wednesday's game on TNT. And that game on the next upcoming road trip in Edmonton will be on ESPN. And they picked up that game late. Noah Gunter into the corner.
Punched in, club working at it. Here's Evan Stenlund. Far right hash, Dylan to drive. Well, not a drive, more of a lifting shot. It just cleared the side. It's also the management of those good goaltenders. You can't manage them, and then because then they'll leave in free agency. So it's not just goaltenders because you're trying to get value for them, and they would have led in free agency. Anthony Stolarz, by the way, I don't remember what junior team, what high school team. He is a New Jersey guy, I found out. I think Hitman is where he went. I don't remember the high school, though. It is a penalty, and it's on Bedard for a trip. So we are going to the power play. Well, it's management. You're not managing the goaltenders, and you're not managing the offense because all those goaltenders would have left in free agency. It has to do with who you're adding.
He gets his head up and he goes right to the net. He gets taken down from behind by Bedard. And if you're Chicago, it's probably a good penalty because it takes away a scoring chance. As Gunther tried to go forehand, backhand, and if Bedard wasn't there, he's probably going to be able to get that puck.
Keller has tied the game for the club. And we are tied at 3 from 3-1 down. And now we look like Chicago looked in the second. Storming at the gates, ready to knock it down. 7:44 to play. 3-3. Yeah, I remember Chris Vandervelde. What a play. Clayton Keller, the captain, guns it home. And look at the reaction. A great pass, a great feed, great pass from Mikhail Sergachev. And Clayton, a drive, an absolute ripper. And just like that, Utah, the club, have a lead.
With another massive goal here in the third.
I don't know. 7:40 to go in the third. Slinked on in.
For the team lead with 23.
And he ties Gunther for the lead of goals in 23 goals. By the way, Texas Tech only trails by 4, under a minute to go in the fourth quarter in that women's game. Chicago trying to move it. Knight does. Donato on the backhand. Almost kicked to the stick. Marino forcibly dumped on down. Chicago working with it. Kaiser. Blasted on through. Here's a chance for Chicago. Save him, Jelka. We'll take the puck away, but then turn it over. Just to force it through. And it is poked off and comes to the corner. A good defensive play also done by Clayton Keller. We'll punch it in the offensive side of the ice for us. Out behind Knight. Chicago moves it. 3-3 our score. A turnover by Chicago. Nick Schmaltz at the right circle. Schmaltz looking for a lane, and he missed the one-time pass to the left hash. Chicago rips it in. Rattled on down. Dursey tying up the stick. Connor Bedard lifts it on through. Deflects it away from Bedard. Puck punched in at the point. And here's Dylan Gunther at the red line. Dylan's going to race in. Gets away from the referee. Shoots at a save made by Knight. Forks it off the backhand. Twists and turns, circulates itself. A drive. Wall down. Kesselring. Blocked. And Chicago sends in Tyler Bertuzzi. Lost his edge, and we have a whistle for a high stick. 5:42 to go in the third. We are tied at 3. Clayton Keller has done it, and the club have tied the game. What a pass from Sergachev. A feed, and it's 3-3 with 5:42 to go in the game. 42 to go. All right, Texas Tech, Oklahoma State. We'll go at it again. The Red Raiders hit a big shot, and on the dead ball, Oklahoma State calls a timeout. Their lead is only 2. 35 seconds left. 59-57. Raiders have another timeout. Only one left, though, as a huge three-pointer have put Texas Tech very much in the possibility to pull off another upset here in the Big 12 tournament. Oklahoma State has 2 more timeouts. They're in the second period in the Canucks game and in the Vegas game. We'll go right to that once this game is over. This hockey game. It's the final game of the women's basketball, as we mentioned. Rash, itching, confusion, memory problems, muscle pain or weakness, joint pain, flushing, or fever. See if we got any more finals for men's basketball. Myasthenia gravis or Guillain-Barré syndromes. Immune system problems include Crohn's disease, ulcerative colitis. 13 seconds left. Old Dominion of Appalachian State. Old Dominion leads by 3. 59-56. Pepperdine is beating Portland. They are moving on in the West Coast Conference. 3:59 left. It's a 15-point lead for 16th ranked Memphis. They will not get shocked by upset by South Florida. 11:39 to go in the second half. North Dakota trails 45-52. Also Valparaiso up big against Northern Iowa in the second half, almost midway through in the Missouri Valley quarterfinal. And they're underway in SIU Edwardsville, up 21-14, halfway through the first half, up against Tennessee State. Winner of that game goes to the final against Southeast Missouri State. Go towards the net, and Mielko makes the save. We're back in this hockey game. 5:36 to go in the third. 3-3 our score. Early in the third, by the way, still 1-0 Denver. Only by that score against Colorado College. Mikhail banked it off the corner. Chicago keeps it in. They'll slap it off of Vimielka. There's Doan. Josh, a pass that was blocked aside. Josh gets hit behind the net. Forced one through, looking for the one-timer. That was tapped off. There's a drive. Cole, a shot, and it's held. And we got a brouhaha in front.
Well, enter the zone, make a play, and if the play is not completed, you got to get it back. Jones tries to find McBain on the back door, but Martinez was there to block it, but Josh stayed with it. And then Jack is able to work the puck from low to high and Lucas on his way to the net. The guy that they call the sheriff in the locker room, that's Lawson Cross, who scored a gorgeous goal, by the way, last game. He's been scoring a lot lately. Had a beautiful backhander at Delta Center not too long ago.
That's the winner against the Chicago Blackhawks on February 25th.
And that line is going good. It's straight ahead. It's getting the puck back. It's being physical. That's the epitome of their DNA. And another great shift there. And look what happens. You get an ozone draw. See if Hayden can win it, and then Utah can go to work.
By the way, I didn't say that Sergachev and Hayden, the assist on that.
Forced it down low, right circle. There's a shot towards the net. It's stopped aside. Puck comes off the corner.
Might have gotten a tip on that.
Flashed on down, and it's going to be icing.
came in to help.
4:41 to go in the third. They're underway in the second period against Anaheim and St. Louis, all 1-1. By the way, it's 2-0 Vegas.
Peyton gets right to the front of the net. So he scored the bulk of his goals this year. Was able to make that a tough stop for Spencer Knight. The Hawks ice it, and another ozone draw coming.
And I believe that's the first goal of the entire hockey game that has had 2 assists attached.
Pushed off the boards. Settled it down. Nazar tries to crunch in. A turnover. We turn it over. Connor Bedard towards Vejmelka is just going to steer it to the far wall. He does. We're at the half in Denver, up 68-56, and at the half in Sacramento, 56-42. Kings beating San Antonio, by the way. 34-31. 10 minutes to go in the second quarter. Knicks up by 3 against LA Clippers.
The Blackhawks will look to get it out. Del Mastro.
Forked on back, Del Mastro. At the corner. Here's Ilya Mikheyev. Mikheyev behind the net. Mikheyev drags, delays. Puck, thinking about punching it to the blue line. Couldn't do so. And Chicago will move it on in and motor it on out. Chicago skate in their reinforcements. A backhand feed, and it's Crevier. Chopped on down, and there's Kerfoot. Kerfoot back up. By the way, it's still a game between Texas Tech and Oklahoma State. Dylan Gunther towards the net, and it's held by Spencer Knight.
That's something that Dylan Gunther has tried a couple of times in this game. Drive wide, and he tries to move that puck from the backhand to the forehand.
But held by him. 3-3 to 59 to go in the third.
Trying to essentially meet that self-pass on the other side to give credit to Crevier. He stood with him and stayed.
By the way, Colorado College has tied the game against Denver. They've got a tying goal. How big that is.
He is electrifying to watch, as that almost was able to work out.
Donato. When the draw, Schmaltz backhands it in. Maybe a late goal for the club. We'll keep it in. Backhands it forced off a glove, a Chicago glove, which they tried to keep aside.
Keller trying to force it to the front. Crevier will take it away.
Keller.
Molino looks to get it out.
A great keep. A wonderful pinch.
Keller's got it.
Punched out. Here's Clayton Keller. Forces it off the boards. Tipped at the wall and a turnover. Here comes Donato. He's got a man breaking. Bedard and roll, or excuse me, not Bedard. Highmore, I believe. Rolled on him. A shot towards the net. Deflection blocked. And Alec Martinez tried to let it go. We'll bring 2-on-2. Forces his way through off the right wall. Spins by a hit from Kaiser. Kaiser runs into the linesman. Chips loose with it. Under 2 minutes to go. 3-3 our score. Pickpocketed the puck from the corner. After a 3-1 clawback after we led first 1-0, we are tied. No games have gone overtime. In fact, no games have been 1-goal games. But it is a tie game in Anaheim, and it's a 1-goal game in St. Paul. Or excuse me, in BC. It's not in St. Paul.
Jack McBain and Josh Stone as well. Dumped in. Played in behind that Del Mastro.
Pushed on through from Del Mastro. Minute 20 to go in the third. Chicago sends some forwards in off the red line. Backing one wide. Good hit to tie him up. Forced off the far circle. Comes at the blue line into the red and shoots in. Lawson Krause does. He gaps it on down. Foligno. Skates in for Chicago. He'll shoot it in. Final minute of play in the third. 3-3 is the score. Chicago has the puck in the offensive zone. Got to get this puck out. They don't call a penalty on for Chicago, even though he has a stick under one of our guys' legs. Schmaltz delays. Left circle. Nick with it. Nick had the first goal. Tipped one, deflection. Cooley a shot and a save by Knight with 40 seconds left. That close to a late go-ahead goal.
Working to the high danger area, and this is the second stellar defensive stop that Crevier is able to make. Remember earlier,
Spencer Knight realized he's wearing that Panther mask when he was playing for Chicago because he got traded so suddenly away.
On the offensive side, at the last second, was able to tie up the stick of Cooley, and now a big O-zone draw as the Utah players will talk it over.
But a young Stanley Cup champion, Spencer Knight. Barrett Hayton's going to be at the draw to win it for us.
40 seconds remaining in regulation. 3-3 the score. Hayton.
3-3 is the score, by the way. There's 7 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Still 61-59. Oklahoma State. I think they're shooting free throws. Yes, they are. It's Magassa, the big, that has been so great for them. 40 seconds left in the third.
And off the face-off, Utah controls, but it comes out of the zone. Sergachev.
Club win the draw. We'll sling it back in, though, because couldn't keep it in off the blue line. Dellin gets bumped off the puck. Lawson Krause tries it blanked off the boards. John Marino doing a good job. He has a goal in this game. 20 seconds left. He's going to speed in. Here comes John up the blue line. John feeds one right circle. Banked in ahead Kerfoot's way. There was Barrett Hayton. 10 seconds left in the third. Chipped one right off the red line. Chicago clanks it in. It's off the boards, and we're going to overtime. Overtime in Chicago, by the way, after the free throw was hit and a missed three-pointer by the Red Raiders. Oklahoma State hangs on. The Cowboys are going on to their first Big 12 semifinal in 17 years. And they outlast the Cinderella Red Raiders, who I think it's going to be a low spot, but I think despite their 17-17 record, I think need to be in March Madness. Okay, so that's it for women's hoops. But we'll have overtime here. Weirdest trade of the deadline. Oh, by far, Chicago won the Red Wings trade, which I'm quite annoyed at. Mrazek and
greatest basketball mind on my side. What's up, Chuck GPT? What's up, Chuck IRL?
Mrazek and Craig Smith for Joey Valeno. Also, weird, Trent, that, you mentioned, we traded Mrazek, this, that, and third. Mrazek wasn't drafted by Philadelphia. In fact, he was dealt at the deadline to Philadelphia. Well, I know that you traded him again, but he was first dealt to the deadline back in 2018 by the Red Wings.
Really? You've been doing this since the 70s.
Well, NJM puts the policyholders first.
So we're going to overtime here.
It is that young man right there. 4 game winners. We're going to look at 2 since he's come back from the injury. A bullseye.
By the way, we got 10:28 left in the third. Still Colorado College and Denver tied. And
he has been a big-time player. And when
also,
he's been on the line,
still at the half of those NBA games. Before we want to go in the second half, Knicks and Clippers. Knicks up, I believe. Yes, 42-36. Old Dominion beats Appalachian State. And move on to the Sun Belt.
All right, here we go. Stedlin out there with the face-off with a Sergachev.
So I think they're going to meet Marshall in the Sun Belt final, I think, but I'm not sure. Memphis did beat South Florida. Pepperdine, as mentioned, beat Portland. And 8:44 in the second, it is North Dakota tied with South Dakota State. That in the quarterfinal of the Summit Conference. And we are on in overtime here. Here is Clayton Keller. He's going to drive in the left hash. Clayton delays, waits, back out to the point, Mikhail. They group up on Mikhail. Back out to Clayton. Clayton a shot. And this goes off the boards. Dillon tries to bump and keep the puck in. Dillon's down, but Chicago's going to break. 2-on-1. Connor Bedard's out with him. Forked it a 3-on-1. Mazar, save made from Mielka. Oh, if we get to the puck, there's an odd man rush. Tipped and can't get out with it, but it's banked off the boards and will change. So Nick Schmaltz going to hold on. Force one, and it's dropped off to Nick Schmaltz again. Barrett Hayton to Clayton. Nick Schmaltz with it. Back to Barrett Hayton. Fakes it, a save made. Oh, and Knight made the stop. He wanted to play the puck, but he had it under his undercarriage too long. It is a freeze, and we will have the puck in front of Spencer Knight with 3:52 to go in overtime. Well, that was that close. And Vimielka made a couple of poke checks with the puck. And that close for Vlasic to score a goal for Chicago, but then Barrett Hayton had a chance to win it, and Barrett was dropped, and Chicago wins the faceoff anyway. They'll come away with it. Kaiser. Not Sose. Spins it over to Ilya Mikheyev. Mikheyev, right circle. Mikheyev drops it off. Right hash Donato. Blocked! So Mikheyev comes away with it. So Mikheyev back to Kaiser. Back out to Donato. He's out to center ice. Donato to regroup. Forced it in. There's Bedard. Bedard holds. Shoot. Save Vimielka. Can we get to the puck? No, Bedard. Backhander blocked. And now we do. 2-on-1. 3-on-1 if we hurry. Here's Nick Schmaltz. Nick delays. Shoots. Save made. He had all day to shoot the puck. And he shot it at the last second. Nick gets it back though at the left circle. Nick is tied up. Goes back to the corner. We'll have a man change without the puck. That's Oli. Oli Mana. A new man comes up at the blue line. Let's go Hawks is the chant. Hopefully they don't win. Mikhail strings the puck on. Here's Mikhail Sergachev. He's going to strip out the center. Weave out the center. Dylan Gunther back to Mikhail. Mikhail looking Dylan's way. Nick Schmaltz stays on the ice. I don't know why he's been on the ice so long. But here comes Dylan. Drops it. Actually, it's Clayton, not Nick Schmaltz. Clayton trying to drop off, and the puck goes all the way down. 2:20 to go in overtime. John Marino out behind. Bedard chases John. John's out to center. He's going to race in. Make sure everybody's on side. Dylan is. Drops it off to Dylan. Dylan Gunther, good deep. Delays. Turns it. Back out Logan Cooley. Cooley fed one to Gunther. He couldn't get it to go. Bedard tries to staple in, drop it off. Chicago with possession. Master back to Bedard. Bedard right circle. Bedard weaves in. Bedard behind the net. Looking for a lane. There's a man coming. Teravainen. Connor Bedard. Chicago wins in overtime. The club had so many chances, and Connor Bedard had a great play in this game. He hit the crossbar. He scores his first goal of the game, and Chicago wins. Connor Bedard in overtime, and Chicago knock off the club in sudden death. The club only got a point, and a very disappointing loss in a game that it looks like we were going to have. And Connor Bedard just wheels and deals, and it went right by Vimielka's glove. And Chicago has won this game in overtime, and they'll get 2 points. All right. Go to Wild Canucks.
The hot, crispy filet of fish. You either love it or you haven't tried it yet. Enjoy a filet of fish or 10-piece McNuggets. Get any two for just $7 and pair them with a Sprite.
So 7:40 to go in the second. We're here with the Canucks and Minnesota, Canucks lead 1-0. We welcome those who came from Utah and Chicago. Chicago beating Utah 4-3 in overtime, thanks to Connor Bedard. Draw, and there's a break key for Sherwood. Canucks basically did nothing at the trade deadline, except they did deal Carson Soucy for a third-round pick to the Rangers. There's a shot, and it's held. A long drive by Mancini is held, and we go to break. Minnesota very close to tying this game. 7:13 to go in the second. Canucks are up 1-0.
Well, you're in the big leagues now.
How was your vacation, sir? Well, I needed one.
With your 10% loyalty program discount, that's $225 for the night.
Not bad.
$155 for the night.
Hold up.
How? It's easy when you know where to look. Trivago compares hotel prices from hundreds of sites, so you can save up to 40%. Trivago's my secret.
Okay, they did not score. Just get this set up.
Trivago.
Let's check Colorado College, Denver. 2-1 Denver with 7:10 to go in the third. So Denver has gone up by 2.
You guys have made a lot of home internet commercials. What's changed?
My feelings for him won't change. Like T-Mobile's price lock, they won't raise your rate on internet. Our relationship feels
By the way, 2-0 Vegas.
Get T-Mobile 5G home internet. Choose from plans.
And 7:52 to go in the second. St. Louis is up 2-1 against Anaheim.
It's too expensive. And if they can extend the life of that roof and get 5 more years or 10 more years, it's a no-brainer.
They are in the third quarter. 74-60 Denver. 8:42 to go in the third. 10 minutes left. 70-49 Sacramento. 40 to go in the second. It's all 47. All tied up 47-47. We can't stream that game. So we're going to do a commercial. Let's go to... The NBA game's a blowout, though.
From the very bottom of jumping up at 11:30 a.m. today.
We're back here, though.
Already been traveling for 8 hours, and he was going through Denver to get here. So add another 3 hours to that. It was basically 12 hours from door to hotel door, and then on to the rink.
It's adrenaline night for him. Traded for Jacob Lacko, who goes back to Boston, and Kuznetsov, the forward. Murat Kuznetsov. Here's Myers with a shot.
There's that.
Dan Bailey Garrett was talking to the Minnesota media saying that
punched aside and crossed on in. I don't think I get the North Dakota, South Dakota State game. 4:32 left in that. 6:30. I'll actually see if I do, as this puck is punched back in. And puck punched through, but it just did not go where they wanted it to. But they were unable to crush that puck through. It was banked in, as we mentioned. Forced again off the corner. And a backhander that is blocked aside again. Canucks will string it in off the corner. Along the end boards and out behind. Tipped one on through. And again, unable to do much with the puck. By the way, Valparaiso's up 56-54 against Northern Iowa, 9:54 in the second half there. Very close. And they're at the half, 42-32. SIU Edwardsville, Tennessee State. Winner goes to the Ohio Valley Final. $5:20 to go in the second period here. Canucks leading 1-0. Puck on a string, and it's at the far corner. It chips on down. By the way, we will finish all the other 10 o'clock NHL games, as well as the 10 o'clock Phoenix-Denver game. When those are all over, we're going to go off the air, as this puck is out of play with 5:05 to go in the second, and Dakota Joshua drove the net. But we go to break again. 1-0 Canucks.
And these are my breasts.
All right.
Honestly, we've had a complicated relationship.
So Valparaiso in northern Iowa, as we were mentioning, and I think they just called it travel against Valparaiso. Valparaiso tried to keep it in. It was tipped off backcourt, so it's not a backcourt violation. Valparaiso is the 11th ranked team, and they lead by 2. Looking for more. Driving towards the basket. It is no good. There is no foul. Rebound. NIU. Northern Iowa going to slow it up. Top of the key. Left corner. Driving towards the rim. Crossover. Twisting to the left corner. Back out, left wing. Back out. Right wing. Shot for 3. Good!
Life-threatening lung problems and abnormal heartbeats can occur. Your doctor should test your heart and blood before and during treatment. Tell your doctor if you have new or worsening cough, chest pain, or dizziness. Before taking Kisqali, tell your doctor all your medical conditions, medicines you take, and if you're breastfeeding, pregnant, or planning to be, as it can harm an unborn baby. Common side effects include nausea, headache, and tiredness.
And a loose ball foul is the call here.
Because I'm more than just breast cancer.
7:51 to go in the second half, and Northern Iowa finally has a lead. It is 57-56. NIU.
We decided 5 years ago to try it out on 10 buildings. We received several windy storms, and we noticed that the other 20 buildings we had severe issues with shingles being blown off those roofs.
His rebound control has been very solid. Getting some help. This one was a tricky one that just bounces by him. But he has been the best Canuck this evening.
We're back to this game. The Canucks and Minnesota. Canucks, if you'd believe it, only have 10 shots on goal. Minnesota is 22. That's something that's really going to change. The Canucks, they're low volume of shots. And I get it's the way that they're coached. You only take the most pristine shots. But there are moments where you're going to need to just huck a bunch of shots on net. No, you don't want to give up a confidence. Goaltender. Oh, and it's close. Archers had a chance to give up that goal, but Minnesota was unable to pinball it through as it was looking like that could have happened. Canucks go to 8th in the West with a win, no matter what St. Louis does. Backhands it off the red line. Also, they can't go without a win. They are out of a playoff spot into tomorrow without anything less than a win, but with a win, no matter what happens, they control their own destiny and go to 8th in the Western Conference, at least until tomorrow. Minnesota right now, I believe, they will move the puck through and bank aside. I believe Minnesota is 7th in the West. They're in the first wild card spot. And if the playoffs were to start today, the Minnesota Wild, I believe, right? Are they ahead of Colorado or behind? No, they are ahead of Colorado. So no, they're no. So I apologize. They are 6th in the Western Conference. Wow, that puck came really close to getting in. Kicked aside by Mancini. What a play by him. But if the playoffs started today, the Wild would go to Dallas for the second time in 3 years and meet the Stars in American Airlines. They're tied with Colorado. Colorado does not play tonight. I believe they play tomorrow. The new look Colorado Avalanche with Brock Nelson, a few other players that they went and got. Charlie Coyle, former Minnesota Wild player. They'll host Toronto. Oh, boy, that's going to be a star-studded game. It'll be a great game in Denver. Interesting, a 7 o'clock Eastern puck drop in Denver on a Saturday. That's a little weird. Stars-Oilers is also going to be very interesting. 3:10 to go in the second. 1-0 Canucks. Bringing up the red line. Jake DeBrusk tags up. Canucks lead 1-0. Turnover. And here's a man, Boldy, at the right line. Looking for a lane, and it's intercepted. We'll bring it up at center ice. Connor stick checked. And Minnesota will try to blank it off. It is still 2-1 St. Louis, and it is 2-0 Vegas still as well. We have a penalty coming up. And it's Yakov Trenin, who was dealt recently to the Wild. He is going to the penalty box. And we are going to the power play with 2:37 to go in the second. And for most of this period, we will be on the man advantage. And Marcus was indignant that they needed to call that penalty, and they do. So Yakov Trenin for slashing. By the way, 2:01 to go in the second half, 74-62 North Dakota. Canucks will change players. We'll look at a second at that Denver college hockey game. Elias will take the draw against Gaudreau. Go Canucks goes the champ. Faced off one by Minnesota. It is pinched along. DeBrusque tries to skate in. Well, my cup prediction at preseason was Rangers Canucks. That's probably not going to happen. Mine would likely be, you know what? I think a repeat of last year. I'm telling you, I don't believe in Dallas, and I don't like Colorado hasn't fixed the goaltending situation. Signing the net, save made, rebound. Oh, and it's held. Connor Garland tried to dunk it home. He could not, and it's still 1-0. But no, I think it's gonna be Panthers Edmonton again. If I was to pick, I mean, I still will probably say my preseason cup pick Canucks Rangers, but both teams might miss the playoffs. If the playoffs started today, both teams would miss it. But if the Canucks can hold this score, they'd be in a playoff spot. But a great stop by Gustafsson. We win the draw. Back to Tyler. Tyler Myers fakes it up the left hash. Closing in on a minute to go on the power play. Flung one left circle. Drops it in a drop pass. By the way, it's 3-1 Denver. The minute 23 to go in the third period. Against 20th ranked Colorado College. Right circle. Elias back out to the point. Tyler back to Elias. Elias spins, works, twists, turns it aside. Tyler. Elias. There's a drive by Besser, and it hits the boards. 40 seconds to go on the man advantage. Back to Elias. Elias right circle. One-timer, and it glanced off the glass. And they're getting a lot of pristine shots. Elias trying to tie it up. This Canuck power play is really working, though. 25 seconds left in the man advantage. There's Tyler Myers. A drive! And it glances off of Gustafsson, but we keep it in. Elias forced one. Fed it off Besser. Tyler can't keep it in. Shorthanded 2-on-1 for Minnesota. Nyquist shoots. Oh, and he hit the post. Gustav Nyquist hit the post. 5 seconds left in the man advantage. 3-on-2. Brock drops it off Jake DeBrusque. It looks like overtime. Missed Brock. Penalty's over. Minnesota's killed it. Brock back out of front to Jake DeBrusque. He's down on the knees, and he can't pile the puck through. Deflected one away from Jake. Comes to the corner. Minnesota slingshots it off the red line. And down it goes. Woo! 20 seconds to go in the second period. We'll enter center ice and lob it on in. Forced it out behind. Minnesota trying to send it out. They will. Rink it through. It's Matt Zuccarello. Skates by one. Zuccarello still has the puck. Forced it, blocked aside. A couple of Minnesota players leave it. We got to get a shot on now. One last chance. Marcus can't get the shot. Leckerman, can't get the shot. Leckerman. And just like that, that ends. As Leckerman could not get it on net, that ends the second period. My goodness, Minnesota had a couple of furious chances. Nyquist hits the post shorthanded. but we just have enough. Canucks 1, Minnesota nothing. End of the second period. Also an empty net goal. Looks like Denver's going to beat Colorado College. Let's go back to NIU Valparaiso. 4:10 to go in the game. It's basically your season because the winner is likely the winner of this tournament will get a NCAA tournament clincher, and the loser likely will not. But it is no good on the shot, but a foul coming up against Valparaiso. 2 shots for NIU.
Honestly, we've had a complicated relationship. I'm trying.
Off the rim, no good on the first. The second can tie it. By the way, Valparaiso, the 11 seed, the possession arrow favors them. Anderson will shoot his second. He's got it, and the game is tied. Yes. If he's who I think he is, yes. In fact, I streamed it. Okay. All right. Do you remember? This is ways back. Do you remember around the Super Bowl? I think it was the 2021 Super Bowl. Yeah, I think it was 2020-21 Super Bowl. Before the Super Bowl, we had a stream, Red Wings and Panthers. And the Red Wings had a guy that won like a couple fights. And he won like 2 fights in the game, had a goal and an assist. I think they lost, but he played some really good hockey for them. Do you remember that? As NIU will bring the ball up. And by the way, Garrett Cole is undergoing tests on his throwing elbow. That's interesting.
Because I'm more than just breast cancer.
Northern Iowa with it. Top of the key. Feeds it off left corner. Thinking about the pick and roll. Driving towards the basket. No good. He's good. He's a prototypical fighting power forward. He was born to be a flyer, to be honest with you. You'll love him. Twisting, turning, layup. No good. And it is out of bounds, and it is off Valparaiso with 2:45 to go in the game. And the Northern Iowa fans love it. By the way, we have a final. 4-1, Denver over Colorado State. 7 seconds left in the second period. They're about to end the second in Anaheim. 2-1 St. Louis.
By a property manager. So we decided 5 years ago.
Yep, that's that culture.
We received several windy.
They're going to go to break here. Where do we go? We'll try Tennessee State and Edwardsville. I think they're out of the first half. Or they're about to start the second half. Sweet, that's what it looks like.
3, 2, 1.
Yep, they just started the second half, and there's a shot clock error. 42-32, SIU Edwardsville beating Tennessee State.
And Lankin. Now, if you've ever been to a game here at Rogers, you know that the game presentation people do an excellent job. So,
by the way, 4:18 to go in the third quarter, 89-74 Denver. 2:37 left in the third, 85-68 Sacramento. We're going to go back to Valparaiso, Northern Iowa. Oh, do we have an update on
everything that they do to put on such a wonderful show here inside
North Dakota, South Dakota State? Yes, we do. South Dakota State, 69-85. They beat North Dakota, and they will go on to the Summit semifinals. And there will be tip-off any moment between Loyola Marymount and San Diego.
Welcome to another night at the Garage, you guys. Tonight we're taking on Colorado. Let's go get them.
Take one.
Here comes Myers. Stand by all.
Stand up. Get on your feet and welcome your Vancouver Canucks.
We have 3 TV timeouts. per period and 2 intermissions in the game. So once pregame stuff, we work on making sure that those happen as flawlessly as pregame happen. Now we're gonna go check on Ben.
All right, 2:45 to go in the game.
Here we'll go hit treadmill skip, and then we'll go live to BIM Inception 122.
And then we just haven't seen Ben, obviously.
Okay, so BIM, it looks like he's going to Section 122, a wheelchair. PSA camera crew.
Oh, of course. Going to the wheelchair now. Oh, kiddo.
You guys are down to 122 wheelchair. Ben went down there.
You see him? Yeah. Can you find him there, Dylan? He's in the tunnel, guys.
I love this. The Canucks, if you have ESPN, you have a chance to watch the Sportsnet feed like I am. The Canucks are showing what's going on in the production room in the truck. I love it.
This is what our intermission contest looks like, and they'll be attached by a bungee cord.
Okay, looking ahead to our under 14 here.
Block a rebound, down the row,
Whoa.
scores.
Standing by with goal announcement whenever Al is ready. Go Al. Let's do it.
Avs versus Dallas, Western Conference Final. That can't happen. Trent, that can't happen unless Colorado's a wild card. And the way that the standings are looking right now, Colorado would be a first wild card. So for that to either happen, Colorado has to jump to third, very possible, or Colorado has to drop down to the second wild card. That's the only, or excuse me, they would have to jump to the first wild card, which is possible. So it is possible, but right now, if the playoffs started today, Colorado, they would go and play Vegas in the first round of the playoffs. Vegas would host Colorado, but it's a long season. I mean, we'll see. It is possible for Colorado Dallas in the Western Conference Final, but it does look very unlikely.
Not so possible. It's energetic.
In fact, there is a good, although not great, chance that Colorado Dallas, everybody's saying that's the Western Conference Final. There is a chance that's a first round matchup. It's a very good chance. Canucks can help Colorado with that because they're leading 1-0. By the way, they're looking at a possession thing here, 62-60. Valparaiso, 1:32 to go in the second half.
Why wait for your next trip to the casino? Play from your couch. Tap into Hard Rock Bet, the top-rated app featuring a premium casino experience. Celebrate big wins.
Taking a little longer than I thought with Sacramento and San Antonio. They're not in the second half. They're in the fourth quarter yet. They're at the half in LA. Clippers did take the lead. They're up 60-54 against the Knicks.
Exciting and safe gameplay. Roll with that. Free spins and 100% deposit match for new players on us. If advanced lung cancer.
Let's see who is
Discover Opdivo plus
been confirmed for the ball.
2 immunotherapies for adults newly diagnosed with non-small cell lung cancer that is spread, tests positive for PD-L1, and does not have an abnormal EGFR or ALK gene. Opdivo plus Yervoy helps your immune system fight cancer in 2 ways. Opdivo and Yervoy can cause your immune system...
Driving towards the free throw line. Twists, turns, spins. Lefty layup is good. And it is 62-all, and Northern Iowa's tied it up. 1:10 to go in the game. Valparaiso has 2 timeouts. Northern Iowa have no timeouts.
Joint pain, flushing, or fever. Report severe or persistent muscle or joint pain.
Top of the key, Valparaiso moving it. Right wing. Back out to the top of the key. Swinging it along, driving towards the basket. Righty layup is good on the finger roll with 48 seconds left. And it's 64-62. Valparaiso right with the play. Here comes with that shot, Northern Iowa, and I think they just drew a foul. Yes, they did, and because they are in the bonus, 2 shots coming with a chance to tie the game for Northern Iowa. 64-62, Valparaiso. First free throw coming. Good. By the way, early in the first half, it's 10-6 Loyola Marymount against San Diego in that West Coast. It is a free throw hit for Northern Iowa. They missed the second, and Valparaiso is going to call a timeout to understand what they want to do with the basketball to avoid turning it over. They lead 64-63. There's 30 seconds left, 21 seconds left in the shot clock.
Scan the QR code on screen and enter this month's draw for a chance to win groceries for a year.
And another thing, before getting fouled, if Northern Iowa can hold the ball for 9 seconds without hitting the rim, then their next shot to hit the rim would shut off the shot clock. So if you're Northern Iowa, you got to try to trap, cause a turnover, get the basketball, get the ball, and then if there is no turnover, then you got to make sure that you get the that the foul comes before the shot clock's turned off. Although, to be fair, actually, if you do it right, then you can kind of hold for the last shot. Actually, say, yeah, you know what? That might be a strategy. But it also depends on who you would foul, too. Well, actually, no, it doesn't, because 2 shots in, it's a three-pointer. You can't call a timeout, then you can just hold the ball. Right, so actually, I'm wrong. Actually, you want Valparaiso to hold this ball. Because then you could hold it for the last shot to tie it. Or win it if you draw a foul at a three-pointer. And that's best case scenario for Valparaiso if they hit both free throws. And if they miss, then you get a rebound. Then you can really use the running clock as your timeout to set it up. Valparaiso throw in. It's open. There's the trap. They don't foul yet. And now they have waited past the shot clock. So now that shot clock is going to come off the next time they hit the rim. Valparaiso's holding it. A top-end 3 off the top of the rim. That would have been brutal. Northern Iowa down by 1. 5 seconds left. Driving the basket. Euro step. Blocked. Northern Iowa ball. They cannot call a timeout. But they have the ball with 3.5 left. Down by 1. And if you're Northern Iowa, you want a buzzer beater here. Because remember, Valparaiso has a timeout.
It's been a disaster for large parts of it, and now they are still in a playoff race. They're really
Valparaiso, if they want any shot at the NCAA tournament, need to win this game. They lead by 1. Tries to get open. It's a tough pass. Fade away. Off the glass. No good. Is there a foul? No. Valparaiso wins. Great defense by Valparaiso. And the Valparaiso Beacons will go to the semifinals. They will play Bradley, the number 11 seed. And their NCAA tournament hopes are still very much alive. Wow.
But at the end of the day, if it's not going to be what is actually needed for this team, it's going to help them right now and in the future. You're just kind of bringing in guys to bring them in, and this group, this management group, has done such a good job of being really vigilant with their contracts and length of term and all of that. Where in the past year in Vancouver, these fans understand what bad contracts can do to this team, and at the end of the day, they didn't saddle themselves to anything.
Go back to Tennessee State, SIU, Edwardsville. All right, they're on a break. All right. San Diego, Loyola Marymount. Sure, Loyola Marymount leads 12-6. There's a break the other way, and now they lead 14-6 as he dunks it home. Trying to go to the final, and the Lions playing well right now. Up 14-6. Right corner 3. Off the top of the rim, no good, but a foul. And 3 free throws coming for San Diego. All right. That game's a real nightcap. So let's go to, we're not going to really do much of that game. Let's go to the NBA, actually.
You can. Let us help grant your summer vacation wishes today, because the time to show your kids the world is now.
Whether you got dogs that leap or dogs that herd, or dogs
Of course, fourth quarter. You mentioned that. About to start, 102-91. Denver by 11. You bring it up, Suns do. Booker, right corner. Twisted in off the wing. Looking to put it back up into the high post. Pump fake, no good, but a foul on Denver. So some free throws coming up here. Remember, Jokic is on the bench. So the Suns can really, we could bang this ball into the paint here.
It's happening again. Bracket brain. Tournament sites appearing at every turn.
You just lash it inside. First free throw. It will roll in. Good.
Now Taxes is tapping into a TurboTax expert in Credit Karma. You can get your refund up to 5 days faster.
Suns would love a win against the team, the quality of Denver, who sits third in the West. The second free throw is good.
I'm Libby Dunn, All-American gymnast and Peoria athlete.
And it's a single-digit game.
As much as I do, you find happiness where you are.
9 points the lead as they trap Jamal Murray. We trapped Jamal Murray. Right corner 3. No good. Rebound. Millsap good. Denver puts it in. Paul Millsap. Fed it. Trevor lost the ball. Gets it right back. Hooks it over to Kevin Durant. Kevin back out to Trevor. Trevor Booker. Waits. High post up. Pass up to the 3-point line. Left corner. It is no good, but a foul. And 3 shots coming for the Suns. And this 11-point lead could dissipate to 8 if he hits all 3. And Allen is a tremendous free throw shooter.
Despite being on an antidepressant, I was still masking the depression symptoms. My doctor said it could be because my antidepressants alone.
Grayson Allen, a great player of the Duke Blue Devils, also played well with the Pacers. This goes off the rim. It's no good. So, Lapford is a great free throw shooter. We're back in BC, ready for the third period. 1-0 Canucks. And Elias Pettersson has the goal that makes it 1-0. So we are ready to go here with this game. By the way, it is 49-45 SAU, Edwardsville, 14:33 to go in the second half. What's going on with Sacramento? 10:04 to go in the fourth quarter. 97-85 Sacramento. We will finish up the Suns-Nuggets game as well as all these 10 o'clock hockey games. And we're underway in BC in the third period. Early in the third, still 2-0 Vegas against Pittsburgh as well. They have not exited the second period in Anaheim yet. 2-1 Blues. Canucks leading in this game. St. Louis leading in that. Will tie us with points, but we'll still stay 8th in the West with a win here against Minnesota. But they only need 1 goal to tie it up. Slicked one, a one-timer. Blocked aside by Dakota Joshua. Fed one back to Gaudreau. Gaudreau. A far wide wrister. Missed the net. It's banked aside. Forked on down to Johansson. Shot blocked off the corner. Released on Connor Garland. Drops it off. The Canucks to swing it on in. Far at Gustafsson. Puck backhands up at center. Chipped along, and we got an offside. 1-0 Canucks, as this is offside early in this first period, the third period.
don't know where it is. It's an early game. It's 3:30 Pacific on Sportsnet East, Sportsnet West.
All right, John Shorthouse doesn't know where Calgary, who's hosting Calgary or Montreal. It is Calgary. And it is, I said 3:30. It's a 7 o'clock game Eastern for us out in Calgary. And very weird that Calgary, I don't know what's going on tomorrow. Why are Calgary and Colorado hosting 7 o'clock Eastern games? It's going to be a very interesting day in hockey. As that is forced on down. Swapped it along for the Canucks to bring it in. Right circle, a shot save. Gustafsson. Zach Bogosian tries to picking it off the glass. And down it goes, looking for a man to come in for Minnesota, but they cannot get their pass. Stretched off the red line. Bogosian shoots in. Backhanded on in. There's Hartman. Foligno, Lekamaki. Drop pass, glanced off the corner. Twisting in, and there's the drop pass. It slinks up through the far slot, the slot and behind, and it'll go all the way down. And back again, there was Foligno. Ships it off in again. Canucks turn it over. There's a shot towards the net. Save made by Kevin Lankinen, and he holds on to the puck. We've almost played 3 minutes of this third period. Dylan Shore went to the net. 17:04 to go. It's still 1-0 Canucks. Kevin Lankinen is playing an incredible game. Vegas has scored 2 quick goals in succession. It is 4-0, and they are rolling over the Penguins. By the way, they are about to start the third period in Anaheim. Canucks win the draw. Spun it on down, and it's a backhand feed off the corner. Stick to side. And paddled away. There's Teddy Bluger. Forced off the corner. Away from keeper Sherwood, and it's spun back to the point. Drops it away in a rolling puck. Slinks on in and shot it wide. Chopped off the dasher, and again it went out of play.
This game has gone in fits and starts. You have two teams that haven't been scoring a lot of goals lately.
But with 16:23 to go in the third.
This is what they're going to run with. And both patiently waiting for their
big
star
face
player
off to start here.
Using this game. Skated this morning on his own. And of course, we've talked about Kirill Kaprizov.
Elias again tried to kick that off. And staple the stick. Brought on down. Punch through in a backhander. Stop the side. Wraparound chance. Oh, and it was denied. Gaudreau back out to the point. Shot blocked aside. Comes off at the corner. Spun on in again. There's a drive and a save made by Kakkonen on Marcus Pettersson's shot from the point.
Marcus Johansson, the backhand wraparound denied. As Roy disengages with Gaudreau and sweeps that puck away.
But what a play on that aforementioned wraparound.
On the wraparounds. But Heroic was there before the puck could go over the line.
And again was just
Shooter way out of this face-off.
clanked wide. Besser won't take the draw. Jake DeBrusk will. Jake against Hartman. Face-off won by Minnesota. A good hit at the wall again. Minnesota tried to line drive that puck through, and it is banked up at the far side. Chopped on in, Ryan Hartman. Backs out from Vinny Hinostroza. Minnesota's made a lot of changes over the past couple weeks. Dribbled off that left line. Tipped aside. Shanked on in, it's Vinny Hinostroza. Banked off. By the way, 7:55 to go in the fourth quarter. 104-90 Sacramento, and it's a close game. Suns are pushing a little bit against Denver. Still a single-digit lead, and it's stopped away by Lankinen. Puck at the red line. We'll move in. Heatle on the one hand. Phillip behind the net. He is bordered down low. A good crunching hit. We got a penalty coming up. There was no 1-0 game in the month of April. This one's still 1-0, and we got a penalty, and it's on us. Minnesota to the power play with 14:23 to go in the third.
This period brought to you by Toyota.
So Minnesota will be on the man advantage. By the way, 5:03 to go in the third quarter. 76-70 Clippers. Close against the Knicks.
Continue and play with the puck. But Rourke kicks into the feet. Stick gets there as well. Buck's not pleased with that penalty, but the penalty killers, we've been detailing, have been doing their job. Minnesota will try to take advantage on the man advantage.
Second power play for the Wild, who came in having scored power play goals in 5 of the last 7 games. Getting into the line by Faber. Drops back to Boldy.
Tied up, Boldy. Swung on down, and it's Carson Soucy at the point. He chips it on down. Zuccarello. Back to the point, Faber. Left hash, a shot. Save made. Rebound. Puck comes loose. They jam away at it, and it goes all the way down. And clear. So we'll clear the zone. Brock Faber comes in for Minnesota. Chipped on back out to the point. Boldy a shot, and it's deflected out off the far side. Comes out right circle. Back out to the point. Slingshots it left circle. Minnesota moving it with dexterity. To the point. Zuccarello, Myers, Tyler broke his stick. There's a chance. Save made. Rebound. Puck poked aside, but not out of the zone. Brock Faber frees one right circle. Save made, Lankinen. Oh, and this place is getting loud. It's tipped off the stick for Brock Faber. Keeps it in. 35 seconds left. 31-17 shots. Minnesota's dominated. Kiefer doesn't have a stick. He broke it. There's another shot they score. Minnesota ties it. After Tyler broke his stick and Kiefer Sherwood broke another stick, Brock Faber gets the goal for Minnesota, and he has tied the game on the power play. On their 32nd shot on Kevin Lankinen, and Minnesota tie it up. You see the puck, and it just comes up back out at the point. Just a burrowing drive from Brock Faber. It just lampoons itself right through the goal. Minnesota has tied this game at 1.
16 games for Brock Faber, assisted by Rossi and Boldy. 7:14 of the third period, or 7:12 as they put a couple seconds back on the clock.
Rossi and Boldy will get the assist on the goal, and we're all tied up at 1. Saw an overtime loss by Utah earlier. Here comes Minnesota again. Slinks it up the far side. A point won't do. Canucks have to win, even if Anaheim beats St. Louis in regulation. Actually, actually deflected, puck flung through. Now they're also older than you. They're busy. They graduate. You have to remember, they graduated college. They have daytime jobs. You're in school. It's not a matter. Save made, rebound. It's held by Lincoln with 12:04 to go in the third.
But the Wild did get one by him.
That'll be an interesting game. Big 12 tournament coming up too soon. But anyway, back to hockey. 12:04 to go in the third. We go to break. 1-1. All right, let's go back to SIU Edwardsville and Tennessee State. All right, Tennessee State escapes with the ball. They turn it over. Jump ball. Whose possession?
Say no more.
I believe SIUE, who leads by 4. The 2 seed against the 3. Yes, they do. The possession arrow will now change over to Tennessee State.
Gloria,
Come to mama. No jingles or mascots, just great insurance. And Jacob.
All right, the inbounds pass comes in for SIUE. It's a nice floater in and out. No good. Tip. And it is out of bounds off SIUE. Tennessee State basketball with 8:08 to go in the second. In the second half. 4:44 to go in the fourth. It's 117-112. Denver only up by 5 against the Suns. Wow. 4:21 left in the fourth. 111-96 Sacramento. And 1:41 left in the third quarter. It's a 3-point lead for the Clippers. 78-75. That was the bonus. So some free throws coming up for the Tigers.
My fear of leakage and skin irritation felt like a nightmare. But since I switched...
The first shot on the 1-and-1 sinks.
Sleeping brings me joy.
Second coming, and it would put Tennessee State within 2.
Plus, it has triple protection against leaks.
57-55 SIUE. If he hits it. He does not. It is no good, but the rebound comes to Memphis State. And I think they just called a foul on SIUE again. Yes, they did. So just like that, another 1-and-1. And another foul, and it'll be not that thing.
Regularly, and all the talk has been how they just can't generate shots.
Face off won by Minnesota. Left circle. Crossed in. Brock Faber gets hit. Forced up at the far side. Zuccarello a shot. Banked wide. Crunched on in. Faber tried to keep it there. We'll tie it up at the line. So what I was trying to say was we were wondering if the Canucks, with a regulation loss, actually I think they would stay. Yeah, they would stay in front. It's with a point, St. Louis, and a Canuck point. It wouldn't mean anything. Because the Blues would go to 31-27, and the Canucks would go to 28-23. So he's banked in. It's the only way that the Canucks can stay in a playoff spot, is they get a point and a win, a point, and then a regulation loss by St. Louis. If St. Louis wins in regulation, they're winning right now, then the Canucks will move on. The Canucks will need to win. Although the Canuck game right now appears like it will end before the St. Louis game, but you never know if that ends in regulation. This game goes to overtime. Right now it's tied, but it is 2-1 St. Louis in the other game. Well, it's 3-1 St. Louis now, actually. Forced off at the corner. Banked on, chipped us. Niels Hoglander a shot. Oh, and it's blocked aside. Nearly was 2-1 Canucks. Minnesota comes in. They've never led. Left circle, a shot, hit the post! Minnesota hits the post, and it goes right off the red line and out to center. 9:30 to go in the third. 34-17 shots favor Minnesota. We're tied at 1. By the way, it is not at all competitive, though, in Vegas. 8 minutes left. They just went to a break. 4-0 Golden Knights. Fed right off the hash mark. Minnesota tries to keep it in. Brock Faber can't, and they'll skate on back. Swung it down, Gaudreau. Gaudreau back with it. By the way, it's late in the first half. 5:53 left in the first half. 28-24 Loyola Marymount against San Diego. 7:48 left in the game. 57-56 SIU Edwardsville. What a game that is. Turned out to be. It ripples itself off the red line. Man comes in on the drop pass. Slinks away. There was Suter, and it's chopped right back into the Minnesota zone. Minnesota will skate away with it. Backhander off the corner. That goes down to Marcus Pettersson. Marcus drops it along the dasher, and it goes down, and it will be icing on the Canucks. Jared Spurgeon touches up.
The New Look Stars at Roger Arena this Sunday, March 9th. Get your tickets now, Canucks.com/tickets.
Canucks have a big home game. We're not playing tomorrow. We have a big home game on Sunday against Dallas. And remember, Dallas, they made the Mikko Rantanen trade. They're going to look really different. They are going for it all, and it'll be interesting when Dallas comes to town, a team that the Canucks always seem to play well against. Face-off, Minnesota win it. There's Spurgeon. Circle back at a shot, and a stop made. Puck fought off to the corner. Flung on through, there's a battle with it. Battle for the puck with it, sorry. Backhanding in Foligno. Hartman tries to pass it off the corner. 7:30 to go in the third. We're still tied at 1. Minnesota moving the puck. Brock Faber at the point. Faber a drive, blocked, but Minnesota keeps it in. Fed one, drop pass. They'll keep it in again. It's Brock Faber who swings it up to the left boards. A drive, and it's tipped. We can't get it out. Shot wide. Might have been deflected. Off the boards. It glanced off the boards. This should not be icing. It is. I think that went off. Well, it can go off the boards. Can't go off the glass. But it'll be icing. 7:18 to go in the third period. Still 1-1. Brock Faber has a goal. Elias Pettersson has a goal for us. End of the third quarter also. 79-78. Clippers by 1.
Yeah, they've been kind of running around in their own end. Minnesota, they're a stout hockey team. And they've been throwing everything towards Langdon, and he's had the answer almost every single time. Here's Faber.
Forced on down. Faber was there. Left circle. Twisting and turning. Whirling dervish save made Langdon. Rebound. Backhands it. Can't get it out. Right circle. A shot blocked. Comes to the corner. Matt Boldy with it. Flipped it to the boards. We have a lot of guys everybody's over a minute on shift time. Canucks need to freeze this puck and get it out of the zone. It's swept to the corner. We have guys dead tired. Philip Ronick will glance it. It goes off a glove. It's chipped out to center. Will it be icing? Yes. Oh my God. The Canucks have to keep the same guys out there. They'll let Elias come off because he got blocked, and I assume Minnesota's going to make a lot of angry noise about that. But it went off his glove. That close. If that puck goes off the glove and out to center, everybody can change. That went right off Elias's hand.
Warned after the icing on the face-off, and now Gaudreau warned as well. Forgot the new rule. Now he remembers. He goes back in. It's a warning, not a kick-up.
Goudreau comes back in. They win the draw. But we have 4 other tired guys back out there. The only one that was able to change was Elias because of the hand. This is lifted. It goes off a glove. It comes to the corner. Minnesota's the red line. Everybody can change. Canucks got out of a debacle there. Johansson tied up. Puck off the corner will slip it down off the neutral zone into Minnesota's side of the ice. Minnesota skating in. Forced off, it goes off the stick, no icing. Minnesota closing it on. Right circle, fed one, tipped away, but not out of the zone. Minnesota's dominated this third period. It's held by Lankinen with 5:45 to go in the third. We finally go to a break. 1-1. Minnesota's been dominant in this period, but the Canucks are holding on.
Welcome to the NHL Hockey Verse. It's the place where real data of NHL action is transformed, literally, into animation. The NHL Hockey Verse matchup of the week.
Let's go to the NBA game.
Now streaming at NHL on YouTube.
So we're down 34-0. Winning will be tough. That's why I brought in the E specialist. Right. God, that makes scoring shorts easy.
3:03 left in the fourth quarter. They are reviewing. Of course, they're reviewing something. Suns are challenging. They trail by 4, 120 to 116. What are they challenging? A foul? Oh, I think they're challenging when Jokic let this shot go.
Car insurance made easy. Get more with Geico.
Denver won the challenge. Usually in the NBA, much more than any other sports, if you challenge a play, you usually lose it. I don't think that's out of result. It's so ticky-tack with the hand off the ball.
Is the world's biggest coffee lover.
That Jokic really wasn't in position for a controlled tip. It's just a foul on a rebound, so we take it out the side.
No, we don't have a sign. Fine, you're the biggest coffee lover.
Good thing for the Suns are there in the bonus. Denver's going to throw it in here. As Aaron Gordon get back to Jokic. They don't do the whole blind pig. They think about it. Murray gets the ball. Now it goes that way. Back out to Jokic. Fakes top of the key. Jokic driving. Turning. Jokic wide open. And Porter dunks it home. But a foul on the Suns. Shooting foul. Jokic will shoot 2.
Top or Tuesday. The way Kevin Lankinen was playing, he thought it might have been a candidate for the winning goal in this game, which would move him into 4th place alone. He's currently tied.
Canucks have to get this puck out of the zone. Oh, no, it was on the floor foul because they just got into the bonus off that foul. Or no, it was a miss on a 1-and-1. That's what it was back to the Suns game. But look at that later. 5:30 to go in the third. 1-1 tie. Backhands one and crunched on down, and it's off the red line and up the icing line it goes. Puck flung it on off. Elias shoots it out behind. Backhanding it across at the corner. Chipped on down. Forged off the blue and backhanded in.
Still going to the bench.
Shifted off the boards. It was a good battle for it. 4:28 to go in the third. Let's go, Petey is the chant. He's got a goal in this game. Remember that was the big deal in the Nashville series? But now you've got an Elias Pettersson and an Elias Pettersson. Brock Besser couldn't keep it in. His North Dakota team played earlier today. I believe they did win. Yeah, they did. Backhanded out behind the net. So he used to play college hockey. Forced at the point. A drive. Coming out close. Side of the net. Right circle, Kiefer Sherwood. Sherwood. Clotheslined off the point. A rolling puck. Score! Kiefer Sherwood! 2-1 Canucks with 3:45 to go! What a play, and Kiefer Sherwood gets the goal. The Canucks lead 2-1 against Minnesota. Johnny on the spot. And they are all probably annoyed in St. Louis. I don't care. Kiefer Sherwood gets the goal, and the Canucks are 3:45 from a return to a playoff spot, a playoff position. First in 16 games for Kiefer Sherwood. And the Canucks have recaptured their lead 2-1 against Minnesota. And Minnesota, for their dominance, for their 36 shots on net, Kevin Lankinen's made 35 saves. They've only gotten a goal, a point shot from the defenseman Brock Faber.
2 for 2 after being Anaheim first. Jordan came off the bench and charged right into the offensive play.
Forced off at the red line. Minnesota shoots it in. Minnesota trailing 2-1. Kiefer Sherwood is the chant. And I think, no, it's just offside. As I say, I think Minnesota's giving me a call for a penalty because Hartman came close to tripping there. By the way, a minute 15 to go in the fourth quarter. We're going right there. 122-120. Suns against the Nuggets. Actually, you know what? How much time's left in this? Yeah, we'll go back to that college game. SIU Edwardsville, that game.
Right this way. You'll always find someone.
But they're going to break here, so back to SIU Edwardsville. Are they back that quickly? Oh, they're back that quickly. Freed on down, where it can be fed along. Forced it off. And chopped on in. Banking it off the corner. Slapping it on through Brock Faber. Delays, it's tipped. Right out to the right hash mark. Goes on down and it's backhanded in. Forced its way up at the far side. Chipped on in and it banked off the corner. Comes to that far wall. Backhanded in. Minnesota skating with it. Forced on down under 2 minutes to go in the third. When does Gustafsson leave? Not yet. Canucks will chip it in. Gustafsson has to go back to the net because Minnesota has it in their own zone. Under a minute 50 to go in the third period. It is 2-1 in favor of the Canucks. Johansson. And he'll send it right back in. 2-on-1. Jake DeBrusk feeds it backhander. Stopped by Gustafsson. A minute 30 to go in the third. Minnesota desperately wants to get this puck out of the zone so Gustafsson can go to the bench. Jake DeBrusk going to pile on it. Minnesota will move at it. He's thinking about going. They weave up at the blue line. Johansson shoots in. Bank the side. Trying to get the puck out of the zone. We'll get it out to neutral. Extra attacker on the ice. A minute 5 to go in the third. And a stoppage. I think Minnesota might call a timeout if they want. It's forced behind Matt Boldy. He's tied up. Hugh Suter backhands it off the corner. There's a break for the puck. It's coming close to the empty net. Score! Teddy Bluger! And it's 3-1. That might do it. Teddy Bluger gets just enough, and the Canucks lead by 2. And a 3-1 lead for Teddy Bluger.